have everybody on. That's on the first segment backstage, and then once we're done with the first segment, we'll invite the rest of the gang back in, and then have certain people hang back. Are we live yet?
I don't see anything yet. Boom. There we go.
We are live.
Yep.
We're live.
We're live. What up, internet?
Whoa.
What's up?
Whoa, bro.
Changing up the scenery.
Guys? What's up? What's up? Are we recording? Are we live and recording?
We're live for now.
We're live.
But are we
recording? Are we really live?
I'm so confused.
Yeah, I'm seeing it on the Twitch page, so it looks like we're in good shape.
Yep. Buck's there.
Bet it.
Eric's there.
Oh,
I see we got some numbers up on Twitch. Nice. What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming through. 9 at 9.
Okay, we are live. Sorry, guys, we're having technical difficulties with the streaming service here. Just hang back. Who we have on the chat? We got. I see Randy White. I just saw Randy White. What up,
Hey,
Randy?
what up, Randy?
What's up?
Yeah.
I see Varrock. What's good, Varrock?
What's up? I saw somebody that just followed us. DJ Sinless. Thanks for the follow. Can you guys see that?
Follow.
Oh, this is pretty cool. All right.
Let me open up a different window. I see what's going on here. I'm gonna leave this one open. StreamYards can stay.
Isn't that one of your students? Who's that? Eaton or no?
About to find out. Hold on. Here we go.
Okay, so we have some of our guests on backstage, and we also have some of our guests on the Twitch chat because streamer is being a bitch right now. What up, Zoe? We got Adrian, our intern backstage.
Hold on, I'm
what up, man? All right, so
my man Meadow 5's here. What's up,
Meadow
Casey?
5? What up, dude? If you're in the chat right now, man, say what's up. What's up, Inferno?
Inferno.
By the way, guys, if you're just tuning in, we're doing this live for the first time this season. So this is going to be the season finale, episode number 25. We're actually skipping from like 17 to 25 because you know what? This is our 25th episode. 25th episode. We gotta do this right.
Is it the 25th episode?
This is the 25th episode for the podcast. So
I don't think until you do that skip, people can appreciate how much time and work goes into this show.
I know, right? We're just waiting for people to come in. You know, just if you're on the chat, man, if you're logging in, if this is your first time, man, say what's up. Make sure to click that follow button. Thanks, Bonics, for following us.
Bonics, appreciate the love. And wherever you're listening in, also don't forget.
Thanks for the follow.
Wherever you're listening in, don't forget to hit the share button. We got the multicast thing going on.
But yeah, folks, we got a good, really good, super heavyweight lineup right now for the show. We got Inferno, Buck Rodgers, Bonics, Zoe, Digital Dave, Premonition, Throdown, Remedy, Impulse, and who knows, man? We maybe once we get a little bit crazy, maybe we can get some more people in there. But anyways,
what the hell?
You guys got some final words before we officially start the show? We haven't officially started the show.
Let's get to business.
We haven't officially started the show because we're at the end of the day we're doing the podcast, so we're gonna do the official recording live right now.
Okay, I'm just trying to get my windows right. I'm trying to get it so I can see the chat. I'm gonna see you guys chatting, man.
Yeah, plus for the guys backstage, just click on the comments. You can see the chat on for the stream. We got everybody on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, logging on, so you can see everybody. What's up? If you're in YouTube and Facebook, man, say what's up.
What up, Mark Ewan?
Why can't I see the freaking chat, man?
Gio's got a grand piano, living classy.
Right, yeah, back there, right there. There's my piano.
Art is officially
what
living
up,
in a
Mark? What up, Twin Spin?
Yeah,
all right.
There's
I think
some
we got
family
we got
reunion.
enough people in here. We got enough people in here for now.
Definitely.
All right, so let's go ahead and start the show. All right, here we go.
It's an ill mind that's still time build and refine. Still getting mine in the nine at nine. Build and refine, build and refine, build and refine. Still getting mine in the nine at nine. Build and refine, still getting mine. Geometric, 9 at 9. Sean J. 9 at 9. Stylist Chris. 9 at 9. DJ has 1. 9 at 9. 9 at 9. Don't touch the dial, you heard?
Oh, don't touch the dial, guys.
What's
cool,
up,
man.
everybody? DJ Geometric here, and it's time once again for the 9 at 9 DJ podcast, the online show with 9 DJs on a roundtable panel discussing today's DJ topics. But we have a special episode right now. We have 9 special guests for tonight, so it's gonna be special. So this show is
people, man.
lots of them, man. So this show is brought to you by Beat Refinery DJ Squad. Bach to Rock. Learn how to mix, scratch, and make music by visiting beatrefinery.com. We have school locations all around the U.S. So once again, folks, tonight is our season finale for the show, and we're streaming live right now. We haven't done that all season long, so hopefully everybody figured out that we've been pre-recording our episodes the past few shows. So, but we're live, we're bringing back some of our favorite guests from the past couple of seasons for this live season finale, as well as bringing some of the homies. So I'm gonna go down the list. We are a special guest for this episode. We got Inferno, DJ Bonics, Buck Rodgers, Digital Dave, DJ Zoe, DJ Premonition, DJ Remedy, DJ Throdown, and of course, back is the homie if we can find him, DJ Impulse.
Impulse power. And maybe some surprise visitors.
And some surprise visitors, maybe. But as always, let me introduce the rest of the crew, my co-host. We got DJ As1.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're live.
I gotta do the sound effects, man.
Yeah.
Next
stop, we have Sean J.
I don't have any queued up sounds, but what's up, y'all?
We're not doing the live. Yeah, we're not. I don't have mine.
Yeah, well, I mean, we didn't do our proper sound check with with all the technical difficulties we had tonight. But and finally, we have Stylist Chris.
What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's doing good, feeling good. We got
feeling great.
The 9 at 9 on November 9th with 9 guests and 4 hosts and a partridge in a pear tree. We are certainly kind of playing this one by shooting from the hip, but sometimes that's how it goes. We thought we could get everybody in here on one screen, but we are going to make best of what DJs do, which is pivot on the fly and figure out how to get it done. And that's what we're going to do. Gio is going to be bringing people in. If you're on the chat and you want
alert,
send us a message or a question you want to ask any of the crew that's on the chat. Feel free to drop the questions in. We'll try to get to those when we can. And without further ado, let's bring in some of our guests, Gio, for this first segment. All
right, just rattle them down. I'll bring them in.
All right, let's bring in
who got
DJ Bonics.
Bonics.
What up, Bonics?
Oh, there he is.
Is it working? It's working.
It's working.
Working.
We got you, sir.
Yeah, man. That's that Diddy. That's that Sean Combs, man.
Take that.
All right, next up, let's bring in the one and only Buck Rodgers.
Yo.
Yes, sir.
Buck's in the building.
What it do?
Buck. What's up?
All right.
What's up, guys? Cool.
And let's bring in Digital Dave.
Hey.
We're
What
bringing
up?
him in. Wow, this is
8-0, baby. 8-0.
This is live, bro. Wow, it's happening.
And let's bring in Premonition.
What up? What's good? I'm not gonna give the record of the other team.
Oh,
And
Hey,
so
we
it
had
begins.
fun yesterday, though. I had fun yesterday.
December 6th. We're meeting.
That's right, man.
All right, next up we've got Inferno.
We don't have Inferno for this one.
Oh no,
No, I don't think so.
well, who was taking Impulse's place?
Throwdown.
Well, Throwdown's already in
Oh,
there.
Throwdown's part of it. That's
wait, I see Inferno in the chat though.
we'll just roll right now. Without Inferno.
Pivot on the fly.
So let's get Throwdown in.
All right, let's get Throwdown in there.
There he is.
What up? What
Homie
up?
Throwdown.
What up, homie?
Can you hear me this time?
Sound good.
Got you.
Cool. All right, bet.
No more Darth Vader voice.
Yeah, I unplugged the audio interface. So I think it's good now.
All right, so we're gonna roll just like this for now, or do you want to add anybody else, Gio?
I mean, we can if we want to. Do we want Inferno in?
Yeah, let's bring in.
Yeah, man, bring him in.
Bring in
All right, Inferno, if you're in the chat, come on in. Knock on the door.
Knock on the back door.
What's the password?
Send someone over to his house.
Who lives closest?
There you go. I see him. There we go.
All right,
Now we're breaking the format. 10.
that's
Are
right.
we? No.
What's up, guys?
Everything we said we weren't going to do, we're doing it right now.
Good to
Right.
see you, man.
We're
Good to see you guys.
First sound check.
I haven't seen some of you guys in the last, like, maybe, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. I know. Starting to miss you guys.
So long, man.
Yeah,
I don't get to see Chris anymore since he's teaching elementary school.
yeah, man, for real.
Living that pod life.
What, your kid's still in the pod? You guys doing the pods or whatever?
Yeah, man. There's days where there's like kids running all around the background of my house, like doing fun. They call them fundations.
Yeah, you guys should see our production meetings on Monday. Like Chris is, it's like meeting time and like everybody's talking, and then Chris out of nowhere would be like, if you follow her one more step, I will break your knees. You're like,
Daddy.
Like, who are you screaming at, dude?
Oh man,
Sounds like some daddy daycare.
I
was gonna say there's nothing worse than the terrible cliches that your parents used on you when they come out of your mouth for the first time, and you realize you've turned into your parents with your. It's a low feeling, man. It hurts.
I don't think I've ever, Chris, I've known you like 10 years, and I don't think I've ever seen you get mad.
Yeah, I mean, I try to keep it easy, but you know, kids can do some amazing things to you. I know, Premonition, you got kids, right?
I do. My son, yeah, I'll be yelling quite a bit. Quite a bit.
Hey, man, they
I had to lock the door today. As I said, I'm locking the door. I'm coming down to my studio. Don't bother me for a few hours. So, my wife's on the job.
Nice.
So you
Eric,
got
how
a
are your
pod
kids?
going on there? You got a pod going on at your place? Like, it's not just your kids. It's
Yeah, a couple other so they trade houses, so it's not every day, which is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, a couple days they go, and I've got my middle schooler here all the time because if you don't keep up on a middle schooler, she'll be playing Amongst Us and Roblox all day long. There won't be any school happening.
yeah.
They,
true.
you know, they're like they're still kind of on some. This is like snow day where you have to do work at home still. You know,
I can't believe that middle schooler, man. I can't believe she's that old now, man.
I know, man. It's
Boy, how old is he then? He must be in 5th grade then. Something like that, right?
no, Judah's 7.
Oh, he's 7. Oh, I'm way off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nah, man, he's 7. All right.
Yeah. We're trying to make it through though. I know you guys are all like, you know, some of our favorite Beat Refinery friends and fans. We're such fans of all you guys, personal friends, and great to have you guys here for this, you know, which is probably a lot better of a day today than it would have been if, you know, things were differently in the election. So I'm just kind of want to throw it to you guys to let us know how you're feeling. Just what's your feeling since we're definitely not out of the woods yet. I don't think anybody that I thought that it was a little premature how we were all celebrating around the country because I don't trust this dude's gonna leave, and he scares the hell out of me with that. But like, you know, we definitely are on a path to what looks like to be a new president and new direction in our country. So, how are you guys feeling about everything?
It's nice to be heading towards some sort of normalcy.
What's the direction you guys want to go towards, man?
Yeah,
definitely see another lockdown coming.
You do?
Yeah.
So?
Oh yeah, lockdown, and he's gonna, you know, he's all about the taxing the higher class but it's the trickle down effect's gonna happen. So he's gonna tax the rich, but then they're gonna make cuts, and the poor are just gonna take the effect of it. I feel. So, but I'm just glad to get that orange pumpkin out of office.
Yeah.
Amen.
Right.
I mean, we will see. Like, to be honest with you, like I try to keep my own mind. I keep a muzzle with my thoughts, on political views and stuff like that. A lot of times, won't catch me saying a lot of stuff online. But I will say this right now, right here. I think, as far as I'm concerned, like talking to people, there's only 3 things right now that I can even think to celebrate, and it could be in any order. But in my order, it's first that Trump is now out of office. 2, we have a
he's technically not out of office yet.
Well,
he's gonna be like 74 days or something like that.
He's gonna fight to the very end.
Well, we're working towards someone different. 2, we have a female,
Vice president.
Vice president.
First female, first black.
Yes,
even South
Asian as well. And again, 3rd, I'll go ahead and congratulate Biden on winning. Again, no offense, but yeah, another old white dude in power. Great. Like, no, nothing different there, But
agreed.
I'm being honest. I'm like, dude, like, aren't you being excited about Biden won first? I'm like, no, that's like last, dude. Like, whatever.
Me personally, man, I feel a big sigh of relief because I feel like, all right, well, even though it's been like a close, it was a lot closer than I was hoping for. You know what I mean? But so that really means that if you think about it, there's a lot of people out there. No, so you can't just, you got to take everybody into account. I believe, when you're talking about running the country, and as much as you might hate one side or disagree with other people, you hopefully would be a bigger person and try to listen to what the concerns are. You know what I mean? Because there's something there. Right? You might not agree with some things, agree with you know what I mean? But like, I feel a big sigh of relief because at least it kind of restores a little bit more faith that there's a little bit more of a.
Did everybody see Van Jones like crying on CNN?
Yes.
Really tearing up, like, he basically summed it up. Character 1. Basically being a good person matters, and he can finally finally wake up and let the kids know that everything, all of that, everything's going to be all right now,
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the election was really, really close, and I don't think it's a moral victory. I think it's a victory at the end of the day, but it's not a moral victory that the Democrats was looking for,
So I've been saying, I've been sort of making an analogy of the president is kind of like a substitute teacher in a 4th grade classroom. Like,
that's very specific, but continue.
If dude comes in, ain't nobody heard of him before, or maybe they heard about him, but they don't have any real respect yet. He hasn't whooped up on him personally yet. Like, they're trying to see what he's about. And the dude can come in and just let people run amok, or he can immediately get stuff under control. And I mean, really, the president is just a mouthpiece. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff going on higher up that the media never covers. But the point is, Gio, what you were saying, moral and character is so important. And obviously, the people in this country are so easily influenced by the actions of their leader. And so this is especially for them. The dude that's at the front of the 4th grade classroom needs to set an example for all the toddlers in the room. Because if he comes in drunk and falls asleep in the middle of the class, or is cussing at everybody and basically setting a poor example, then kids are shooting spitballs and beating each other up, and we've had 4 years of that, and we just need to get back to civility at the very least, even if nothing changes in the next 4 years, like I ain't even gonna be mad about that. Like in terms of coronavirus or like economy or whatever, I just want to see people not at each other's throats anymore. Like I can't even talk to my dad right now, and I love my dad, but he is such a hardcore Trump supporter. Like we have to just completely avoid that topic of conversation, or we're like screaming at each other. You know what I mean? Like this dude raised me. Like this guy wiped my ass for something years ago, last week actually. But like I want to be able to talk to my loved ones and my peers. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like some people in this room right now we're probably not all on the same page. Not every single one of us, and you know, those who feel differently are at least keeping people who know how to take politics and take it off the table, like, you know, respect, because like that divides people, and like that's what we got to get away from right now, is what I'm saying. Like there's no way forward until we can remember that we're humans and we're in this together.
Yeah, that's me. I had a Trump supporter in my studio live streaming with me 2 days ago. You know, DJ Junior, Trump supporter.
Oh, boy, man. Yeah,
what's up, Junior?
But all good. For me, I'm able to separate his political views versus what I think of him as a talented artist. You know, so whatever. Wait, I feel for you though, Throdown. I remember that one time we went to New York, and it was supposed to be a snowstorm. We went to New York to go do a show, and it was supposed to snow or something. And your dad bombarded you with text about why we shouldn't go because the snowstorm was like the end of the world snowstorm. And so I can only imagine, you know, like a political view. He's probably like, you know,
I mean, it definitely. But you know, this
he'll
so like you know, with Biden in office, you know, obviously he's like super hardcore about coronavirus. Like we all got to wear masks. Like we're probably going to get locked down for you know a little longer, and yeah, that's gonna you know screw up our jobs as DJs, and it's gonna you know make the economy like dip a little more. But like, there's no other proven way that this works. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just say like, oh well, we tried and it didn't work, so everybody just go and do your thing. Like it's literally gonna get so much worse if you just let people run amok. So I feel like we have to kind of lock down for a little bit, because dude, the winter, like you know how many people out there like don't take their vitamins and eat crappy food, and like they're like prime candidates to get sick and then like spread it everywhere. So I feel like we're probably gonna just be living in our huts for the winter.
Did you guys see? Did you guys see what? Did you guys see the Saturday Night Live over the weekend with Dave Chappelle?
Yes.
Dave
what he
Chappelle's
said
my
about
idol.
What he said about
celebrity I want to have lunch with.
What he said about Chris Christie? He's got all the fixes.
That was so wrong and so funny at the same time, man. Oh my gosh. Let's bring in Bonics. What you were trying to say something a minute ago. Let's if your mic's on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey. You know, I've been really trying to be mindful this whole time about everything. I mean, with politics and with coronavirus, and then you know, being on the radio for the whole time of it too, like public FM, made it very. I had to be super mindful about how I spoke about things, and it was cool because honestly, I'm definitely happy that Trump is out. I mean, I'm definitely happy about that. Like, but now more than I ever have in my 40 years, I like think about the government now and try to read more and be more critical about it. So I think that for me is like the best part about it. I can't like I'm happy for Kamala.
You're older now, bro. You're getting older.
Yeah. I'm getting older, so it's just it's.
You don't look a day over 32, homie.
It was a tight rope to walk because you know there was a lot of different people who share in the community that just had the range of it, and then George Floyd happened, and so it just was like I don't know, man. I'm glad I could have been emotional about everything because, man, how do I feel about immigrants or how I feel about women or how I'm passionate about all those, but I didn't let it really. I had to really focus on what was in front of me in real life shit. because I think that really helped me this year. Because I see everyone. I went to Mexico a couple weeks ago with Buck because Buck just got engaged. Congratulations to Buck.
Hey,
Thank you.
Congrats.
I realize how much of a bubble we're living in, man. Like, we're just slinging mud at each other, and then there's like families enjoying the fruits of the earth and shit. So I'm happy that the hopefully this like first part's over. There's definitely a sigh of relief, and I feel like lighter. You know what I mean? Y'all feel like a little bit like it's not might not be running in the background while we're still dealing with coronavirus and our financial situations or whatever the fuck we're dealing with. So
I definitely feel that.
I just think that like I'm exhausted about that question, about how I feel about it, and I'm just trying to like feel it out every day because I don't know if you guys follow Max Smith in Portland, Oregon. You guys should definitely follow him. He's been the big voice out there with Portland, and he asks all the right questions. And there's so many questions to ask. Like, we want to go back to normal, but back to normal is, how we treat immigrants, and back to normal is, racism and all that shit. So I think this is like a super great opportunity to like start from a part where now we can walk together, hopefully, and figure that out. Because you see how divided the shit is. It's like the 50-50 the country is. So how do we walk? How do we talk as DJs? Are we only playing to people that think like us? I don't think so. So that's a loaded question.
We're supposed to, my homie was saying the other day, he was like, because he's on the other side of the fence. He's a Trump guy, and we got into it. And he's like, look, you know what? Like, dead all of this. 6 months ago, we all used to go to the club and just check all of our egos at the door and forget all those superficial things, race, political standing, whatever. We were all just cats in a club, vibing to the same music, like coming together as like a unified body. And it was like, an experience that everybody was sharing. And like, where did that go? And I think, honestly, like what you were saying, Bonics, like we're all exhausted. The media and basically the guy in the Oval Office that was leading the media, like, every day of the news cycle, people are just, they're following the lead. And the guy was like sowing division to enable himself. You know what I mean? He was like feeding off of the chaos. Like the more pissed off people are, the more ratings you get. And you know what I mean? Like if you get people outraged and you just keep them in a constant state of outrage, then it drives up like news shows and politics and stuff. And like we got to get away from all that, dude. Our job is to deliver good music and like good environments and alternative vibes that, a lot of people aren't DJs, believe it or not. I know in 2020 it's about half and half, but a lot of people like work at, crappy day jobs, and, they got to feed their kids, drive them to soccer practice, go to the grocery store, go to marriage counseling, go to their crappy 9-to-5. Like they get all this whack stuff out of the way. And finally, when you get home and you get a little sliver of time to yourself, like it's your right to kind of decide, like dictate what you do with your free time that makes you happy. Some people, they like to read books. Some people like to just burn money at the bar and bang strangers, like whatever gets you off, like whatever. But we're supposed to be the conductors. You know what I mean? We're like the guys like riding the train into Party Town, and people rely on us to show them a good time and help them to forget about the darker side of their lives. And so, like Bonics, like we can't. What you're doing, taking a nonpartisan role for your radio show, we have to remember to keep that state of mind, because like people don't come to our Instagram pages to hear us rant about politics. They come there to get away from it. So we can't like get sucked into the
Well, I was actually going to say, if anybody's been following Bonics, for since everything really started to happen, especially with George Floyd, the thing that I've always appreciated, and I think I probably shared a lot of the same sentiment that you do, is you just take a very thoughtful approach to everything that you say. And I think we have come too far in our country where if the extreme views are pulling us apart, and they're gonna and it almost now, if you don't take one side at the far end of that, if you're somewhere in the middle, you're just discarded by both sides. I mean, you guys were talking about Van Ash, Gio. You're talking about Van Ash. Van Ash was getting ripped on Twitter for like everything he said before when he was at CPAC a year before. Like, people are just so quick to judge everybody, but don't want to be judged themselves. And that's, I think, where I've just really appreciated the people like Bonics who. Now we can also go back and say, like, I also think that a lot of the things that people call progressive issues are not actually progressive issues. They should be humanitarian issues for everybody. And unfortunately, the one side of the coin is dominating so many of the narratives, and the other side is on the other side of the narrative. But really, those equality and justice for all, these should not be political issues. This is common sense that everybody should have.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
I was
I want to hear from
Dave
Bonics.
just real
Let's bring
quick.
Dave in on this too.
I just want to say real quick, like, obviously, like, fuck hate and fuck racists, and we all know about that
Exactly.
and shit. And so I just think that different people are meant to have different, so it's, we got to be vigilant, though. We still got to be tough, and we still got to stand up. I just think that different people speak to different people, and so it's like Army, Navy, Air Force, like my audience or my approach is necessary, but also an air attack is necessary. So seeing like Cosmo Baker be fucking going crazy out there, and all the DJs are like, yo, this is happening. I'm from Philly originally, and just Pennsylvania as a whole, because Pittsburgh, shout out to Pittsburgh too. They weren't the only one voting.
Exactly.
So I just think that I don't know. This is all a work in progress. We got to be vigilant too. So neutral's not always. People will disagree with being neutral too. So I see the vast fucking approach. I just have to make sure that my energy is being spent to help the situation. If we feed each other clean water, then we're going to be healthy and be better for our community. But if we're feeding each other not dirty water, the analogy, you know what I'm trying to say, we're not going to be a healthy community. And that's why I feel like the internet's great, because we can be in solidarity and see what people are doing all over. But I also think it could be pulling away from what's happening right next to us in our community. And that's really important. Biden and Trump, I saw some meme. They're not going to, check our groceries out like someone who may or may not like me or agree with. So I just try to be mindful. 2021.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I've talked to Brandon personally off, air, social media about stuff, and I definitely appreciate Brandon's view, and I've even listened to him talk to some callers on his radio show, about not sowing hate, and even if you disagree with people, being able to move forward and respect those differences, and just not being like F the other side because you don't agree with me. I don't know if anyone's watched The Social Dilemma, but for anyone that hasn't watched The Social Dilemma, I 100% encourage you to watch it. First of all, it's going to make you feel like shit every time you log on to social media. But
facts.
We actually talked about The Social Dilemma last week because we did a mental health episode. So if anybody wants to tune in, past episode, we actually talked about social dilemma, mental health last week. So check out episode 17, part 2. But go ahead.
But on top of that, to go forward, when I was in college, one of my best friends, I'm like kind of very close to libertarian, I consider myself, and one of my absolute best friend, and we both studied politics in college, and in college was damn near socialist. So we were just complete opposite sides of the coin, and we've had debates and talks all the time, and we never argued, we never raised our voices, we were never like, F you, F this, we had very civil discussions that we both found very intellectually stimulating about our different views on politics. And now it's like you could agree with someone on 99 out of 100 things, and this is kind of going back a little bit to what Chris was talking about, everyone being and a lot of people being somewhere in the middle. You could agree with someone about 99 of 100 things, but if you disagree with them about one thing, they're just going to go off on you about it in 2020. And I don't think that's a good thing. One thing The Social Dilemma addressed was a lot of the differences that have been sowed, the seeds of difference that have been sowed, and how much more extremist in their political beliefs both the right and left have gotten since the advent of social media. And it credits a lot of that to social media. And I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing to be less tolerant of other people's beliefs. And I also don't think it's a good thing to, I think a lot of this extremism comes from fake news on both sides. And to me, the point we hit this year where it hit critical mass and I thought it got absurd was over the summer. Two things happened, and one was on the left and one was on the right. And to me, they both demonstrated the absurdity that our political climate has entered into. And one was Republicans with the anti-masking and I felt it became like Democrats were like, okay, well, Democrats, are promoting wearing masks. So we just have to be against it because we have to be opposed on every different subject. We can't all be on the same page about any topic anymore. And so I felt like it was almost a moment where the right had to oppose masks just because they wanted to be different than the left. And then I felt like the flip, I guess, happened with all of the child trafficking that became a hot topic this year. Not that people on the left, I don't believe, support or were, or for child trafficking, but I felt like they didn't want to speak out against it because it was something that Trump was speaking out against so much. And they're like, well, we can't speak out against something that Trump's speaking out about. And like, I forget who said it, but someone was saying there are a lot of humanitarian issues that should not be left or right issues, that should just be issues. And I think wearing mask and child trafficking are both humanitarian issues that we should just be able to all agree with. And I feel like we've entered a stage where we decided that we just have to disagree on everything. And I don't think that's remotely healthy at all.
Yeah. Let's cap the issue off here and just that's the type of thing we will never have true healthcare for everyone in this country if it is always going to be a political win for one side or a political loss for the other. And that's the people forget that the Obama plan was very much a Bob Dole healthcare plan that was put forward by the Republicans 20 years before that, and once they got the hold of it and took it, so now it's the Republicans are like, we'll never allow this healthcare to go through. Why? Because it doesn't give them the credit. And so then why will they not give us the credit? Because the Democrats will always want to take credit for the healthcare and be like, you have to vote for me for the rest of your life because I gave you healthcare. So anytime these important issues, all these big humanitarian social issues can be controlled by a party, we're screwed. We're always going to be screwed. The people, we get screwed. They'll keep the lobbyist money will keep going. I mean, we live in DC. We see how the lobbyists flow. And I mean, when I used to be a bike messenger, one of the things you could do back in the day was stand in line. You actually got paid to get up at 4 a.m. and stand in line in front of Capitol Hill. And you would stand there and hold your seat until the lobbyist came and took the place of you so he could go into the hearing. It's like the money exchange over politics and lawmaking is on a whole nother level than anything we will ever understand as in the DJ world. You think if you throw it in the club scene? Shit.
Yo, I just want to add, talk to your friends in person. Check your friends in person first.
Yeah.
I think that's like me thinking about it being mindful, because it sucks to see like people who are friends go at it on Twitter and shit.
And I had a friend of mine, a good friend, Mike Walter, who's a DJ from Jersey, make a comment the other day, which I thought was great. Even if someone's a stranger on social media, he said, if you were at a cocktail party, or say you were at a cocktail hour at a wedding or a cocktail hour at a corporate reception, and you overheard someone say something, if you wouldn't start a fight with them, like a knockdown, drag out argument in public, don't do it on social media. And I thought that was a great way to put it.
Makes sense. Yeah, because you're
supposed
supposed
to
to
translate that
behavior.
into don't be a keyboard warrior. You got to stay in the same
Well, that's
way and
just
have
the
the same
thing, though.
tone if you're online or offline. I agree.
You're
with that
supposed to
completely.
be in your best behavior in those environments, and I get how that should be a good mindset to look at it, but some people don't look at it that way. Some people have never been to a cocktail hour right away, so they don't even know how to act. They're just fucking wilding out on the internet.
Real quick, shouts to everybody on the chat that's putting some good questions.
Yeah, definitely.
Barack, Marlon, we're gonna get to some of these. What you guys have been talking about. We're definitely gonna talk about the S11. We're gonna talk about open faders. We're gonna definitely have.
We'll nerd it out. We'll nerd it out today.
Yeah. So Gio, why don't you
talking about DJ stuff?
Hey,
start the next. Why don't you start the next?
A DJ podcast that talks about DJ stuff. By the way, let's big shout out to Tito Lagos for following us.
Tito Lagos, my homie, my bro. Sounds of Baltimore
Going
crew.
through the chat right now, seeing who followed us during this whole time. Shout out to On the Cut for following us.
That's the homie as well.
Big
Matthias
shout out to
DC, what's
DJ
up?
Dunsky. Dunsky, thanks for following us. All right, so let's go ahead and move on.
Yeah, let's get the topic changed.
Well, real quick, like a show of hands, just a quick rapid fire. Who thinks we'll be back? As far as venues, bars, clubs coming back, do you think it's going to be summertime
of 2021?
2021. No,
I don't have confidence. I mean, I think it depends on a vaccine, but I think it's very realistically 2022.
Yeah, well, some of that stuff is back already. Some of that stuff is already back. So I think it's just it depends on how you contextualize it. So if you're talking about
depending on the states,
I know. What I'm saying is it's still. I think every state is going to have some version of what we have kind of now, where there's might be restrictions in terms of timing, like how you kind of dine. Does it have to be open air? Does it have to be this? Does it have to be that? But I think you're going to see a national policy more than anything. A national policy for a little bit, and then allowing states to kind of piggyback off of that. But I think by the time we get to the summer, this has been a long, pandemic, and people are stir crazy. There's stuff can only go but so far. So to have everything completely locked down in the summer is kind of really, really hard to see for me.
Let me just say, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, if you're in favor of it or not. But of all the COVID restrictions, and I agree with a lot of them, I do not understand whether it's bars, restaurants, grocery stores, Walmart. I do not understand this whole things close at 9 p.m. or things close at 11 p.m. stuff. I cannot make any sense of it whatsoever. And the only sense I could make of maybe of the bar thing was they're like, well, people are going to get drunker by 2 a.m. and they're going to be not remembering COVID restrictions. In the past 2 weeks, we are open. We have bars open till 11. I've seen people falling over. I saw a dude fall into a fire pit last week. So don't tell me that people can't get any more drunk by 11 o'clock than they can get by 2 a.m.
That's why Montgomery County in Maryland, I think over the weekend, they decided to have a strict 10 o'clock cutoff alcohol.
Doesn't matter. They're still going to drink more. 10 o'clock, I'm tripling down.
I mean, yeah.
They're just going to start drinking earlier. It's not going to change.
Yeah.
I don't think it changes anything. I mean, and it also, my other rant, and I don't know if you guys are doing this, if any of your cities where you are have this, but in PA, in the summer, they let people put tents outside. So they were doing tents for restaurants so people can have outdoor dining. Well, now that November's hitting and it's cold outside, what they're doing is people are putting sides on the tents, like 4 sides on the tents. And I'm like, well, now isn't the whole tent indoor? Yeah, it's indoors
now. Yeah.
Right.
Indoor, outdoors.
And actually, when you're in real indoors, you have an air conditioner or a heater with a HEPA filter filtering the air. When you're in a tent with sides, you're just breathing the same air that everyone else is breathing. But the state's letting all these places do it and put these sides on the tent. And I'm like, what good is it doing? I agree with a lot of the restrictions, but there are some to me that just don't make any sense.
Like walking in with a mask, but everyone else doesn't have a mask on until you sit down, and then you don't everyone's breathing the same damn air. Like it makes this whole mask shit, dude. It makes no sense at all. Like everyone in the restaurant can breathe on me as I walk past them, but I have to cover my face. Like it makes no sense.
And I work
no
at
sense.
I've worked at a couple weddings and bars where all the servers, once the place opens, wear masks, but the whole time they're setting up, they don't wear masks. So then, I mean, they're breathing on everything while they're setting up. Like,
clean silverware is not clean anymore, right?
Well,
Wait.
I think a lot of what we're talking about that's interesting is just the differences that we're having statewide. So like Dave mentioned that about the workers at a wedding. Every wedding I've worked in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, every single person in staff has been masked up the entire time. Like the entire time. So I think that's where you're going to see more so with this new administration is some type of national policy on how to kind of govern stuff in terms
Like
of
the police should have.
A standard that everybody has to operate on, you know?
Well done.
Well, I mean, the standard in our area is that these people should be wearing the mask while they're setting up, but nobody's there to police. I mean, there are people that are checking on venues once they're open to make sure they're following capacity rules and the amount of tables and people sitting down and not having dance floors. But there aren't people, which I wouldn't expect, checking on a venue when it's not even open yet. So you actually are supposed to be wearing a mask while you're setting the venue up. That is the rule in Pennsylvania, but nobody's observing it. And there aren't going to be any sort of law enforcement officials going into the venue before it opens to check on it. And that's where it gets, you're relying on people, I guess, you know, to follow that rule on their own in that situation.
Yeah, like the
Hey,
honor
Buck,
system.
have you been out? Buck, have you been out in around your way? I know you're in Texas, so.
Oh yeah, we're like 75%.
Have you been going out yourself, or like you've been avoiding it, or like?
No, I've already had COVID, so I ain't scared of shit. Like, let's go. Like, there's nothing been proven that you can get it twice. I'm good friends with the anesthesiologist. She's in the ICR every day, and yeah, so like there's nothing stating that you can ever get it twice. So I've been there, done that.
Hold on real quick. I did hear that there was a couple, I think 2 cases that they said of somebody had contracted it 2 times.
Yeah, one could have been pneumonia. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, anything's possible. I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying what I heard.
Nah, for
from somebody
sure.
who knew something.
How was that recovery for you, man? I mean, you know,
it affects everyone differently. The biggest thing was 2 weeks, no smell or taste. And it has kind of affected some of my smells, and like my nerves haven't been rebuilt yet for that. But like it's been other than that, like it took me down for about a day and a half. I slept for like 20 hours straight, and then like I rewrapped my studio panels in the green screen, and basically like I'd wrap a panel, I'd be fatigued, or like when my girl had it, she'd literally vacuum the house and be like done for the rest of the day because it just drained her.
I bet you still smell great, Buck. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
I can't smell. So.
You've been
Yes,
out
you
there,
do.
like, you've been out and about and seeing the nightlife scene out.
Yeah, I
there.
just did a show Saturday with Porky
How's
from
it
Desert
out
Hearts.
there? Is it wide open? Is it like, you know?
We're not Florida. Florida is 100% no bucks given. Like they are wilding down in Florida, but we're still somewhat, you know, like you got the fire marshal walking around, you know, controlling capacity and things like that, making sure staff have masks and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, we're back to 75%. But
you know what? You know, since we're really into this conversation right now, we probably should. Has anybody traveled in this panel?
Not yet.
Not yet, right?
Yet.
I just got back from Mexico.
Bonics, have you?
I travel. I went to Mexico and I went to Philly a couple times.
Yeah, Bonics and I just got back
Jersey
from
Shore.
Mexico.
We probably should bring Zoe in because he's the one that got quarantined for 2 weeks in the hotel room.
100%.
Yeah, I think
All right. So again, you know, we can only keep 10 people in here. So Throdown, we're gonna have to kick you out.
That's why I don't like you guys that much anyway.
I'm jealous.
Hang out on the
I can't
Twitch.
smoke.
We're gonna bring in
I like to go
Zoe.
listen to what they say. Okay.
We're gonna bring in Zoe and Remedy. So Throdown and Premonition. Well, we're gonna have to kick you guys out. Just stay on the Twitch chat.
Hang in the chat. We'll bring you back in
Because
later.
we're gonna bring you guys back later.
We should do this Survivor style and actually vote off two DJs.
Yo, it's live. Who should we get rid of first? Chat.
All right, have a moderator run the poll and go.
Start the tribal council right now.
What's
We're fired.
the ESPN show where they they're giving their opinion
Or around the horn, around the horn.
and then
All
you
right.
get eliminated.
I'm getting the signal now that somebody's trying to enter the studio. So Throdown, we're gonna remove you from the stream, and Premonition, we're gonna remove you. So just hang back on Twitch, and we'll get you guys back later.
It's just
I'll think about it.
In the meantime, shouts to everybody out there checking us live. DJ Umami, I see you. My man DJ PM.
So Throdown.
DJ
If you're here,
Simmons.
Throwdown. If you're hearing me, I can still see you in backstage. You gotta leave the studio. So
Umami was actually.
I don't want to kick you out.
What's that? Umami was what?
She was in Mexico with us too, and Caper.
Hey.
Okay, we
Shouts to
got
them.
Zoe.
Whoa. What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Remedy.
Good morning.
Remedy's trying to get in, but like, yo, Throwdown. I can still see you in backstage. Man.
Yo, X out the window, fam.
You need to leave the actual studio.
Red button.
Hit the big red X.
There's a button in the middle of the screen. There we go. He's out.
Don't come back with them shoes on.
He definitely ain't coming back now.
So Remedy. That's funny. While we wait for Remedy, let's go through this chat again. I saw some people just followed us recently. We got shout out to DJ Husky for following us on the stream.
Yeah.
Who else is on the stream right now? We got
I think
Joe and Madman. Oh, PM's back. PM, what's up? What's up, PM?
My man, Mr. Midnight.
Happy birthday, DJ Umami, though. Big shout out.
Hey.
Hey.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Umami.
On Wednesday.
And
Oh,
we
that's
got
Remedy.
Remedy.
Happy birthday.
Good job.
Skeleton on the cut.
What up, C+? Thanks for following us, man.
For Halloween at the Remedy household right now.
No, I'm on a new diet, bro.
Is that a COVID side effect?
Yeah. What up, y'all?
Yo.
So yeah, we got Zoe, we got Remedy.
What's
Zoe's
up?
screaming straight from South Korea right now.
What's up, internet? What's up,
Good
world?
morning.
Good morning.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm over
Got
here.
that good internet over there.
At the
Them views, though.
situation popping on.
That's a dope green screen.
Nice green screen, though.
Nice Zoom background.
Yeah, it's like 12 noon. You know, just woke up. I had one of those crazy nights where I stayed out till the sun came up, drinking.
What time is it there right now?
It's 12 noon right now.
12 noon. So what time do you go to sleep?
Whoa.
I went to bed last night at like 6 a.m. Yeah, I was kind of hurting earlier, but I feel a little better now. I drank
I
some
got
water.
like 4 hours of sleep.
You feel like me now?
You can do this, champ. You got it.
Morty, come to
But
the
yeah, look-
garage, Morty. I'm a pickle.
Pickle Rick.
But yeah, man, let's talk about we're talking about COVID stuff, and then basically, I mean, other than Bonics, you're the one that traveled outside. You know.
Yeah, I honestly,
Yeah, decided to globe.
I've been here for 3 months, and I forgot about COVID, man. Everything is like kind of open over here. Asia did like a really, really good job.
Yeah.
There's certain things that you can never probably do in America. Like, you know, you have to have your QR code when you go everywhere.
Yeah,
and,
like
take it in.
the trace.
Yeah, they trace and then like they take your
Yep.
temperature
I
everywhere.
heard they were blowing up bridges to isolate cities and shit. Like tanks hitting
shit,
bridges to
I don't know.
isolate cities to.
Maybe in China, I'm not too sure.
That's probably
Yeah.
China, man.
All my homies in Thailand, I'm watching their stories, and everybody's out clubbing, everybody's DJing. Like,
Yep. Shout out to Ono and Buddha, Bangkok
Yeah,
Invaders,
yeah.
killing it.
shout out to the Bangkok Invaders, BKK to USA, baby.
Yep. But it's pretty awesome, man. Like I said yesterday, I went to like 4 spots drinking with homies. I mean, everyone still wears the mask, but yeah, I kind of forgot about COVID, to be honest. It's like I was looking the other day. I was supposed to go home maybe 5 weeks ago, and then I looked at the COVID numbers in America, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go home. I'm just going to stay a little longer. But
So why are you over there right now? Like, you just hanging out with the homies and just doing some shows out there, or
I'm escaping COVID, bro.
just escaping? That's all.
That's the real bailout plan.
I'm DJing and doing some. I had a business opportunity early in September, and then that kind of finished, and I just decided to stay out here and DJ. Yeah, I'm going to Vietnam on Friday too, actually. So
Throw me on the list, bro. I'll be out there.
Nice.
but,
Get a plus 10.
it's been dope. I mean, like you were talking about, the quarantine really sucked. I had to, when I landed, it was pretty crazy. I had to like get shuttled to a hotel, like a government hotel. and then like they give you that nose that tests up the nose, which fucking sucks, and then you're just in that room for 14 days. You cannot leave. Yeah, you can't leave. You can't order food. Like,
what do you eat?
So do they stock the room with food?
They
drop off. They drop off.
like jail.
There's meal service 3 times a day, which is at 6:30 a.m., 12 noon, and then 6 p.m. And they leave it outside your door, and then like it's kind of like Hunger Games-esque, like a announcement goes off in like 5 different languages, and it's like your food is outside your door. The door will unlock, right now. Make sure you grab it. Don't step outside the door because the door will lock if you step outside, you won't be able to get back in. So you have like a window of like 5 minutes to like open, get your food. And then at the end of the day, you put all your waste into a biohazard bag and you like spray hand sanitizer in it, and then you tie it up and then you put it back outside your door.
Wow.
That's so crazy.
It was pretty
Here's
OD,
the
man.
thing.
It was
Here's the
fucking
thing.
intense.
All that makes sense, but in America, you're not gonna get people to go that extra mile. Motherfuckers out here, you got people who don't even give a shit about recycling. They're like, "What the fuck is recycling?" You're like, "Oh my god!"
They'll start rioting on the lobby, man. Shit.
And the food was fucking whack. It was like cold as shit every time, and there's no microwave or anything. So I tried everything to heat it up. I put a fucking hair dryer on it.
Yeah. That shit was funny, bro.
Yeah, but that's the price I had to pay to like I guess resume a
No
normal
or
life.
anything either. Like no kitchen set or anything. It's just
They had like a hot water kettle, so like you could. I guess I could have like sous vide the food in the sink if I wanted to.
Reuse the same bag.
Yeah, but I just had to deal with that for 2 weeks, and then I've just been like resuming normal life. I watched Tenet in the theater like a couple of weeks ago. Went bowling with the homies.
Wow.
Did DJing on the weekends. Yeah.
I watched your live streams at the very beginning of the lockdown, and I was just like, man, that must be boring.
Oh yeah, I brought this little like Hercules thing to live stream in the hotel room, and I was like going out of my mind.
Yeah, that was a cool live stream setup, though. That was pretty dope setup.
No, has the nightlife been? What's nightlife like out there now? Like
it's popping.
You've been out there.
It's popping. Asia's popping, bro.
You've seen it before pre-COVID, and you've seen it now. Like, is it?
I would say that like it's not as popping as it was before COVID, but people are definitely like partying, and shit is packed. Halloween was fucking insane.
Are you guys allowed to have dance floors there?
What's that?
Are you guys allowed to have dance floors there, like people dancing?
Yeah, it's not like Tokyo where it's a little different sometimes with the dance floors, but yeah, there's an area called Gangnam here, which is like you remember that Psy song, like Gangnam Style. That's like the poppin' area of Seoul, Korea, and I DJ there on Saturday, and my slot was from 3 to 4 a.m. I was like, oh shit, this is pretty late. That club stayed open until 11 a.m. and they had different DJs every hour until 11 a.m. Wow. And it's like, yeah, and it's open like that 7 days a week, so it's kind of nuts.
Yeah, man. Like I said,
I was gonna say one crazy thing. I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but I've had a few gigs and like our casino here. They stopped serving alcohol at 11, but I still play till 1 a.m. And I can say after being in so long and getting like 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night for 6 months, I'm so out of shape for being up till like 2, 3 a.m. Like I used to be every night, and now it's hard to hang anymore.
No, I feel you. Yeah, I wasn't
quarantine
drinking.
will age you, bro. Quarantine will age you.
I didn't I wasn't drinking since March until like September because I just wasn't DJing, and I don't like to drink like unless I'm DJing.
Same here. I drink more when I'm DJing than when I'm at home.
Yeah, but
I only drink when I'm DJing. Really,
drinking a lot.
I only drink whenever I'm with you guys.
You're taking shots
with the bottle next to him.
By the way, shout out to The Rock with his Terramana tequila.
Hey, shout out to our sponsor. Yeah. Yo, but yeah, that's dope, man. But what's up, Ram? Good to see you in here too, man. Congratulations on placing top 3 in the DMC US finals this year, bro.
Yeah, give it up.
Long
Give it
time
up,
coming, man.
Yeah, congrats, brother.
Respect to you, brother. I remember I remember meeting you, and that's just the goal for all of us. So
You have your own scratch named after you now, man. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, juggle. Excuse me, a juggle.
It's a kind of a combination, but
what's the official name though? I've heard people throw names out of what's the official name of that technique?
Well, I just started calling it a one-handed chirp because at first it was just a scratch. You know, I just started calling it one-handed chirp, and then I turned it into a juggle too. I'm like, it's a one-handed chirp juggle, and you know,
I think everybody's gonna, because like like we've seen Tony Vegas done, something like that before. But what you did was you incorporated with a juggle. I think with the juggle is what the quote unquote the remedy is.
It's also
which was like really dope.
It's different than what Tony Vegas is doing too, because he's doing, I've looked at every single video that people have been sending me. I've been breaking it down. He's doing fading. He's fading on one side. He's transforming the other side. He's not doing a chirp. He's not doing, and he's also using his pinky. Like you have like way less control. Like it's a totally different cut than what I'm doing
right now.
I haven't seen anyone else do it yet, but I hope someone else.
Also, you have been getting some hate mail like that.
I expect it. I've been keeping it under wraps for a couple of years, besides in live battles. But there's been some people like, oh yeah, Tony Vegas, whoever else. Like I'm
shout out to Tony Vegas.
Whatever, that's cool. He's ridiculous, but that's not where I came up with it. I just thought of it. Like I didn't get it. I didn't see it somewhere, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do that now. Like that wasn't it. I was just trying to think outside the box and
right. And this is what I tell people. I think when you're practicing and you set yourself a couple fundamental goals, think outside the box, do what feels right, do you, and whatever. That's when you come up with these things. It's never really like a super drawn out thing. A lot of times it might be in your dreams, like thoughts that are getting pieced together. But like usually it's kind of like a mindset where you put yourself in when you're practicing,
Yep.
to lead you to those things.
You sleep with your fingers taped together for like 6 weeks like this to gain the separation?
Man, let me tell you, man, like I really can do like different things with my hands than I could 2 years ago.
Yeah, I bet.
I can go straight down. Like I can go flat like this. This doesn't even hurt. You know what I mean? Like I can do like
that looks crazy.
It doesn't even hurt anymore. Like it used to hurt bad. I've just been doing it so much. I've modified my body at this point. It's kind of crazy.
Whoa, dude!
Contortionist of the hands.
Yeah, I can't do it on this side, but I can do it on the right.
But in case people don't know what we're talking about, basically you have your thumb and your middle pointer finger on the right side. I guess you use your right hand. So on the right channel fader, and then you have like both your pinky and your ring finger on the vinyl. There you go, and you're basically doing a one-handed chirp.
Fire.
Can we zoom in on that so people can see up close? I know we got the
wait. Do that again. I'll spotlight your video. This
got a free hand.
Can you see it?
There we go.
There we go.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Super chirpy, bro.
And it's still clean though.
Hey,
God.
One-handed chirps,
bro.
It's a little different. It's fun,
but what's dope, and then you incorporate that into a juggle.
Just
on the other side.
Yeah, I just started bringing back the other side just with one hand. What I like about it is like it can be done. It's been possible since the 90s. It's been possible since the Vestax 07, since the Rain 56. It's possible on vinyl, but at least as far as I've seen, I haven't seen anyone else do it. So like,
I don't know about these little sausages. I don't think they can reach.
I was gonna say I'm sitting in front of my mixer right now. I don't think my hands are big enough.
I'm sizing it up, and I don't think it's going to reach.
I feel like my hands could reach, but I'm not that dexterous yet.
Yo, but let's talk about hands. For someone who probably has at least regular sized man hands, like Zoe has always been the illest dude to just destroy cuts on a controller, bro. And watching you cut on that Hercules thing too on your live stream, I was like, dude, I played with that thing. Like I couldn't believe
the size of a $50.
I couldn't believe you were getting those clicks in there, bro.
Thanks, bro. I put like a
$50 nipples
knob on there.
Did you?
Probably why, yeah.
There you go. There you go, guys. You heard it here. Nice. When it comes to this stuff, we're always figuring out some new stuff, whether it's like
But we have
down.
Remedy on. We're gonna actually speak on about the DMC because DMC World Elimination Sets came out this past Sunday. We're also gonna talk about Red Bull 3 style, but we're gonna talk about that later. So let's go on to the next segment. We got everybody in here. I guess most of us use Twitch a lot, so we're gonna talk about Twitch. So Sean, if you want to lead that conversation. Go ahead.
All right, so there's been a whole lot of conversation about what's happening in the world of the DMCA claims with Twitch right now. So just amongst our panel, everybody we got on here, who is currently or has up to this point been live streaming?
I'm actually partnering with Twitch.
1, 2, 3. I mean,
taking a break. But I have not been on Twitch. I've been doing it on Mixcloud.
I did my second live stream
too,
this past Thursday.
There we go. Gio's number 2.
We got a Mixcloud guy.
Yes.
Here you go.
So the conversation with Twitch right now is that because the DMCA flag emails started showing up to people's inboxes, everybody was worried that, all right, this is the end. And I remember Digital Dave, you were talking about this months ago, and I like saw a conversation on Facebook with you and a bunch of other DJs saying that's the reason Mixcloud makes the most sense because they already had the licensing out of the way. However, there's been a lot of conversations and meetings, of course, that we are not privy to between Amazon and the major record labels that hold these rights because Amazon has been building its own streaming service for a while. So there's a lot of people who are better connected because they own record labels or have these different agreements within major record labels, and those platforms conversations are a part of. One that I've been using as a resource is this dude Alpha Gaming on YouTube and Twitch, and the guy's his real name is Harris Heller. He started this thing called Stream Beats and kind of broke down the whole thing. So what's actually happening on Twitch is because Twitch is rolling out this streaming service to compete with Spotify, Apple Music, all the things. There's going to be a library of music that you're allowed to use. However, we don't know what's in that library compared to the other services. So you're going to start getting more and more of these emails, but really nothing has actually changed because what it is, the payout, if somebody's on a live stream, let's say Remedies goes live for the first time or whatever, and he's got 500 viewers. Instead of Spotify paying a royalty for the music that he's playing, like 5 pennies to that artist, that 5 pennies would now be split for 500 additional people on top of whatever they would pay for just Remedy. And there's no way to do that fairly. So there's probably going to be a shift between different tiers, let's say like a streamer tier of Amazon Music and then like the user tier is likely what's going to happen down the road, but we don't know when, we don't know what it's going to look like. But has anybody gotten those emails about DMCA flags to their own inbox?
I haven't noticed nothing, but the hack is dig deeper in the crates. Don't play the fucking same 10 songs you hear on the radio. Dig deep in the crates. There's so many versions of the fucking song that you love if you take the time to dig. I still have streams up that have not been flagged for one song. And it's a 4-hour fucking stream. Like, just dig deep, people. That's all you got to do.
Wide open lane to do whatever you want. And like Inferno, you've been doing your live remix project for the 2020. Well, it's LRPX, or correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm getting that wrong.
There's an X there now?
Yeah, man. I actually, man, I stopped for a long time, man. I get this kind of mode of wanting to, like, you know how like some people like fixing up cars, you know, like they just also like, go out, they wash the car, do something with the car, put something in it, stuff like that. Here, man. like constantly one little like, and it never feels like it's like ready.
And they park at the other end, park all the way at the farthest end of the lot, so no one gets near it.
Yeah, it's coming though, man. It's coming. I actually had to revamp a lot of things, and now my well, you can see it over there, can't you? That computer is back to life, man. I don't know if a lot of you guys this, but like that, there's my Mac, like it died. Like I'm talking about it died. It was I don't know how, but it's alive. Like it was literally dead. Like took the guts out, put it back in, new guts, old guts, all sorts of different combinations. Wouldn't turn back on.
Frankenstein.
I had one more time, turn back on. So now I got that. I have a PC now. That's why I got this.
Don't ever turn it off.
I'm actually on this PC right now, man.
Oh, I was like, oh, wait. Now, nice.
Yeah. No, that's why like the graphics look good because it's like
PC's built for streaming.
I'm talking about
I'm using a PC to stream with. Yeah.
You have to.
My
Like,
computer PC.
you have to separate the CPU
Yeah.
from the GPU for streaming. Like the Mac.
But in
don't do that.
particular, I was
Yeah.
talking. You know, what I'm talking to Gio and Stylist Chris and As One probably appreciate this. You guys remember Phrase? Johnny Phrase?
Yeah, Phrase. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
he's,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
he's a big gamer right now. Like,
Huge gamer, right? So like, he's
Yeah.
like
Really?
the guy that I go to. Hey, man, what? Tell me about like Windows. Like I've been on Mac for like 17 years. I'm like, tell me about how this works. He's like, well, he's like, so I'd show him some some recordings of my stream. He's like, you're on Mac, aren't you? I go, yeah. He's like, are you using 2 Macs? I go, yeah, I'm using 2 Macs, and the one that I'm streaming on has like a 2 gig dedicated GPU, which for a MacBook Pro at the time that it came out, a 2 gig dedicated GPU was really good. Like this came out in 2014, and I've been able to like do all sorts of stuff with it. But then like that's the thing I would stream with, and I would be on the iMac running all my music stuff. He's like, man, if you really want your not just your anything graphics related, like I'm talking about, like I do video editing for like my business, you know what I mean, like for my my school. Like I need something more powerful, but it's so slow on the Mac. I love Mac, but after trying this out on this thing, this computer is like $1,000, and it's like
Check this, and that's the other thing. PCs are so affordable.
It's and if you check the specs out, it's like I'm talking about. It's this. You would pay about $2,800 for an iMac that is in the same comparable range of the specs. I mean, like
That's crazy.
6 gig, upgradable, and it's like I'm like, I get it now. I see why they do it. I hate the operating system. You know what I mean? I've had to get used to it, and then for a while, I thought that this is all I had because that thing died, but then that came back to life. So now I got like my boat. So like that's gonna run like you'll
whole
see
party's there.
Yeah, I'm ready to stream again, but I've really been.
The only hack for Mac users out there to streaming, Ecamm. It's the smoothest one that doesn't give you glitches. The only thing you're going to lose is like all the widgets. And so like using Streamlabs or using OBS to where you can get the widgets and stuff for Twitch. For those using Twitch, you're going to lose all that. But the quality of the stream, I can still stream 1080 on a 2013 MacBook Pro, and it's no hiccups, no nothing.
Nice.
Solely just streaming, and that was with, of course, Ethernet directly plug in.
That's not what you're doing now, though, right?
Oh no, I actually picked up a sponsorship. EVGA laced me up with a supercomputer over here. The graphics card alone is fucking 2x. We're good. Shout out EVGA.
That's where that partner money comes in.
Try to push them subs.
That's just streaming my ass off, and my girl's like, "Why are you always up so fucking late?" Well, I'm trying to be partners.
Trying to pay the bills.
I always see Buck on there. I always see like certain DJs on there, and it's like I have not yet embraced it in the same way that you guys have, and I can see why. I'm starting to see why you guys like why you would go this route. It's like, man, you spend a lot of time. You know what I mean? A lot of time going live all the time, and it's like, you know, for me personally, it's a little different because I have to worry about my business. Like I have my business, right? I have my school, right? So I've been
the mixed major,
right? So that's what I've been focusing on. But now that I see, like, especially months down the road, right? I see like where Buck is at, where like other DJs are. I'm like, oh, I get it. And I never did the math. Like I started researching the math. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So you can make that much money off of like, you know,
I
off a stream.
heard Ardalan, this is just rumors, but supposedly he landed a deal with Twitch to where they'll pay him $250 an hour, and he can stream up to 60 hours a month. Wow. That's almost $15K a month just streaming. Like
Ardalan?
Ardalan, yeah, he's a house producer.
That's crazy.
So like Dirty Bird and Desert Hearts, he does a lot of stuff with them. But yeah, $250 an hour, 60 hours a month streaming. Wow.
Man,
that's more than what I make in a club.
Yeah, man.
Looking in the future.
Yeah,
man.
I was gonna say. So, like, are you gonna, you know, like when everything opens up, it almost seems like if you can get your following up to a certain point, you know.
Not only that, and like I said on the previous times on here, like you can also build a fan base over the world that you never used to have, because like with me and the bizarre hours that I do, I'm always on like UK time and shit like that. So now once we do get into the position to actually travel again, now I got people all over the world that I never had because I took the chance on, you know, streaming and building a fan base that I never had.
And
yeah, I think it's great.
Dave, I wanted to figure out where you are with streaming on Mixcloud as opposed to starting on Twitch and then like trying to upband and ship like some people have done. How's it been for you doing the Mixcloud exclusive thing?
So, I mean, the biggest frustration, and I've been doing it, my shows through Club Killers, actually through their Mixcloud account. And I think the biggest frustration, I would say, for me with Mixcloud is the in the room, it tabulates when users come in, and you can see how many views you have. But and there's the chat, but it never shows. And it's still, I think it's still in beta, I want to say. Or, I mean, I know that we've talked to the ownership of Mixcloud, and they're constantly working on updates and improvements. But right now, you can't see how many viewers you have at a specific time. So you know you've had this many people enter the room, but you don't know there's 25 here right now, or there's 100 here right now. And that obviously I think is frustrating from a analysis standpoint, and also, you know, how long you're going to stay on watching it. I know some people that are streaming the Twitch and Mixcloud simultaneously, which is probably not a bad idea. My biggest concern, and I voiced this several times on social media about Twitch, is that, you know, the whole DCMA thing would, you know, that hammer would finally come down. Obviously, the only way it's not coming down is if money is spent to make it legal. But seeing how much of a dog with a bone RIAA was with both Instagram, Facebook, and also the record pools, which, you know, just been getting beaten to death over the past 2 years. It just seems like very much to me the industry being a dog with a bone right now over everything, you know, legal wise, with streaming, with record pools. And so unless Twitch has become so well known now for DJ streaming, you know, and I know there's word that they're starting to take steps, but, you know, unless they can make it completely legal, you know, I don't think Mixcloud's near as good in the short game, probably not even half as good in the short game. And I guess my potential opinion, but I don't even know this for certain anymore, is that, you know, using Mixcloud is maybe playing the long game and seeing, you know, if Twitch doesn't last from a legal standpoint, but it might.
Yeah, they're all acting like a bunch of donkeys, man. For real.
Twitch is actually like the #1 website in the world. Streaming,
that's wow.
Like, it's more than Netflix, even more than Netflix. Believe it or not.
Really?
Like, yeah, no. Twitch is crushing the game when it comes to Twitch. However, are you able to monetize on Mixcloud? That's the only like platform I haven't switched over to. Like, is there a way for you to make money as an artist, as a DJ on Mixcloud, other than tips?
So right now, I don't know if they rolled this out yet. What they are rolling out, whether it's rolled out yet or not, I don't know, is that they're setting up basically where you'd be allowed to have a show and, in essence, charge admission. So like a ticketed show, or in this case, a ticketed stream, where you could say, okay, you pay $2.99 or pay $4.99, and we're putting on this show for 2 hours or for 4 hours or whatever, and you can get in and do this stream. And that might come into play more as something that might be great if you can put together almost like, you know, a mini festival type thing with multiple DJs or multiple artists, especially in the, you know, dance music world. But that would be the internal way that they're going to at least allow monetization. I don't know if we haven't done it yet, because I think right now we're just trying to push as much as we can to just get people and get viewers and build our live audience. We have a huge following on our Mixcloud.
I wonder why. Only time I've seen y'all on Mixcloud is when you had strippers on the couch.
Jay Valentino.
Yeah, they were wilding out, yo.
Yeah. So yeah, we had Jay Valentino on a Thursday night with strippers on the couch. But we've had about a show. I think we have one show every day. So most of them are. The thing is, some of them, and I don't know about the timing. I mean, I do mine in the evening. I do a Tuesday night show at 8:30 Eastern time, and then I do a Sunday morning. Like kind of Soul Sunday show at 11 a.m. Eastern time. But then I know a lot of the guys that are on the West Coast are doing shows that I'm not even sure when they're streaming on the West Coast, but some of them are kind of like on the earlier side Eastern time. And it must be just straight afternoon out there because they're ahead of us. But time-wise, but it's just I don't know. But we have had a regular schedule. So we've definitely had, for 2.5 months now, we've had these shows that are on the same time every Tuesday, every Monday, Earwax was on Mondays. He was on tonight. But yeah, it's
homie Wax.
Yeah, it's just I don't think right now it is near. I don't think it can touch Twitch right now as far as being successful with the use of it. But at the same time, Twitch might get better. They might work out the legalities and things might even get better for Twitch, or Twitch might just say it's not financially worth it for us to work out the musical legalities, and they might just shut these. I mean, look at Instagram and Facebook. I mean, they just went with shutting all the DJs out.
Unless you know how to dig.
Well, also there's so many more monetization elements put into Twitch that Instagram and Facebook don't have. All Instagram and Facebook have is, hey, put some money in my Cash App, my Venmo. With all the subscriptions and the bits, there's already money that they could just start flipping into the artist. If you're using Amazon Prime, that's at some point it's not much different than Spotify or Apple Music and streaming the songs. So even if you were playing the same 20 songs that are on the radio, then as long as that stream allocation money is going to where the artist you're playing, that's what they really need to figure out.
That's the important part. Distribute.
They just need to make it a subscription based for the DJ. Like, we pay our fee to give us the rights to fucking stream what we want to stream. Like, you can do it as a tier level or whatever, but just let us pay fucking. As a DJ, I'm a DJ. Let me pay my tier. Boom. Let me stream. Shut the hell up. I don't understand. Like, they're just being too greedy at this point. Like,
I mean, even with Instagram and Facebook, I felt like that there would be a market for them to work out something with the labels where they could say, hey, if you're a DJ, pay us $19.99 a month. The label gets half of it. We're going to take half of it, or however you want to split it up. But I feel like, especially in the COVID era, maybe not before COVID, but I feel like in the COVID era, DJs would have happily paid Facebook or Instagram to be able to stream live, paid a monthly fee. So I feel like there is the potential for monetization here. And if you look at how little money artists get from Spotify streams, it's not like there needs to be, I feel like, a ton of money on the table, because the artists are getting really shit on Spotify, but yet every other platform, Facebook and Instagram just have gotten shut out, and we'll see where Twitch goes from here.
Agreed. Bonics, have you heard any conversations about going into the radio station and having more of a presence on the live streaming tip with the visual element, not just with the audio side that you're used to doing?
Yeah, what's I'm literally figuring that out now. Because the one important aspect about radio is that it has like a I always can't find the right word for it, but it has like a signal that that when people are recording ratings, like they're wearing like a pager type joint, there's a signal in the music that's sending out. So I have to make sure the feed is sending that out, so it's not like competing against, hey, this person could watch the stream and we're not going to get credit for it, versus when they're just listening at home. So I'm new. Buck is actually helping me and a few other people. So follow me, because I'm just figuring this shit out. But, radio keeps me busy, but I think I need to just start exploring that Twitch, because it's time. I don't want to say I avoided it. I just now am feeling inspired to. So.
Well, I think last time we were talking with you too, it's like you were doing plenty of DJing. It wasn't. Yeah. A lot of us were pivoting and going to Twitch because that was our only outlet to actually connect and play records and feel good. Like mentally, I don't care. I just need to play records. I need to play music in a way that makes me feel normal. And you were getting to do that to a degree.
People are making really like pretty good money streaming, is what I'm like figuring out. I mean,
I'm not mad at it.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So it's like if
I'm coming for you guys. Watch. No, I'm just joking. No, I think my first problem is, though, I don't really, the whole everyone asks me about scheduling. I don't really have in my mind. I could put a schedule when I'll go, but for me, it's like if I don't feel like playing the same thing every week, I'm not gonna do it. If I feel like playing whatever, I'm just gonna do it. That's why I call it hodgepodge.
That's how I was. There's a lot of DJs that built their following real fast, actually sticking to a schedule, and I was never really the one to do so. Like I was just, fuck it, let's stream. Like,
but you have to stick to a schedule because you know.
No, I mean not in a schedule. I mean like a theme.
But
that's
I can't do that theme shit.
But it's like at the end of the day, the requirements to become a partner, you know, you have to have.
Well, you just have to meet the criteria for hours and
the criteria for all of that. So but it looks like you have to really consistently do it.
You just have to stream. I literally
trying to encourage people to just be on all the time and have consistency.
Exactly, just stream.
I'll be streaming after this probably. We'll see what happens.
I am too.
Yeah, we got
for stream space.
We need to do the raid warriors or the fucking stream raider stees for the Beat Refinery, where we all just do a little 15 minutes and just keep the party moving.
Hey,
I'm all about that. Yeah, let's do something.
That'd be fun. We got Premonition in the chat
too. People call our people. Yeah,
Premonition has been streaming from some of his corporate gigs and his real life gigs. He was saying in the chat, which is a whole other element too of where we start getting back into physical space, even if it's, you know, I think a lot of these conferences or charity events are going to go to where you've got 20, 30%, 40% capacity in the physical venue, but then they're going to still want you live streaming to the rest of their corporate office or charity, and they're doing online auctions for things. It's certainly going to be a part of the landscape of the DJ world.
I can actually speak to that real quickly. My Sunday residency at a hotel here in Baltimore City is picked back up, and right now they just dropped the capacity down for 25% again. We're going to see what happens next. But I actually locked in a contract with a company through some friends of friends and family members where they do quarterly conferences to get people signed up to be part of this, like, basically mentorship program for Black entrepreneurs. And now, as opposed to doing the in-person events at convention centers and conference halls like they brought me in to be the DJ so people wouldn't just click on the next tab over. And that's a really good opportunity if anybody out there has not done these kind of like bigger Zoom parties. It doesn't have to necessarily be a birthday or whatever, because they've paid like a TV production company to be a part of this, where they have like 4 different Zoom links. I'm in here like with a waiting room full of guests and celebrities. So that's another way that if you pitch it to people that have those kind of connections in the corporate world, that's a thing that held me over for a good part of the summer, actually.
And for those who make original music, my homie Rome, who you've seen Turntable TV, he's done all the filming for all that too. He has his local independent stream service called Stage It, to where you literally, it's kind of like how they were doing with Mixcloud, to where you can pre-sell tickets. But the good thing is it's only a guaranteed 30-minute set. And then if the audience that you have tip you out or they make a certain quota, then you give them a 20-minute encore. So you're playing a total of 50 minutes, but you get like, I think it's like an 80-20 split of the ticket sales.
Dope.
So, but it's also original music though. So obviously you have your own licensing cleared and stuff like that. But yeah.
Real quick, guys. Premonition streams a lot, so we're gonna get him into the chat. So Art, I need you to lead the studio.
Wow.
And Premonition, if you're listening, come back. Let's put you in because you stream a lot and we want to get your perspective.
And while we're waiting on Premonition to come in, Dave, why don't you let us know about that mixtape you just dropped this week that you got in my email?
Yeah, so I put together with my boy Mike Morris, which Buck, I believe you know Mike.
Yeah, he just texted me after talking to you last night.
But yeah, so me and him, I threw out an idea about, I was talking about on Facebook maybe back in June about putting together a New Jack Swing mixtape. And he hit me up and he's like, yo, I'd love to be a part of that and do it together. So we did it together. It was an 80-minute mix. And we went from, everything from just kind of mainstream, Bobby Brown and New Edition tracks to, like Ice Cream Dream by MC Light and some more, deeper cuts that people might have forgotten about. But New Jack Swing for me was like, that was hitting real hard when I was in middle school, like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And just, New Edition, Johnny Gill, Belle Biv DeVoe, all of that. Just to me, Jody Watley, Boys the Men, just really took me back to my middle school days and just, I don't know, just happy memories. And that was one of the first music genres that I really ever loved as a kid. So we spent a lot of time putting this together. We actually took clips from a lot of different interviews. Most were Teddy Riley interviews, a few other interviews as well, though. And, we put some audio clips in it, and we really just try to kind of tell the story of New Jack Swing. And so it's a great mix. It was like a super labor of love. I probably personally put close to like 7,500 hours into it. And, Mike put a lot of time into it as well. So it is on my Mixcloud, mixcloud.com/DJ Digital Dave. So if you have time, just, take a moment to listen. I think for those of you who remember the music, it'll bring back some great memories. And for those of you that don't, I think you'll definitely dig it. I mean, it's still to this day, just listening to the music from back then and listening to New Jack Swing just makes me happy. So thank you. And I appreciate the opportunity to mention it on the show.
Word up.
Awesome.
Premonition, man. Let us know what you've been definitely streaming and doing some interesting scenes. And then you were talking about streaming real life. How's that going?
Yeah, I think people would be interested to get some more details on the IRL world.
Yeah. So I started streaming, I think like right after I'd already started like right when we did the NFL DJ show. And so I kind of just expounded upon that. I saw some more streams from other people, kind of got more ideas. And I do a couple of different staples every week. I do a classic club Saturdays where I kind of take a club that doesn't exist or isn't operational anymore from around the country that was like a really big club. And like do my overlay around that, do like my alert box around whatever city it is. I try to customize every single time I do it. It's a lot of work, but for me, I don't look at this as like a monetary trying to like game the system in terms of making money. It's just for me to have like a lot of fun in terms of being creative, a creative outlet in terms of just coming up with using some of the ideas I have in my head and just kind of putting them out to the world, and then just having fun with people on a Saturday night. And then what I do now is, because I'm back with I've missed the first 2 games because there was some politics going on with the team here in Washington, but I'm back with the football team. So I've been there the last
football team.
Hey, I mean, hopefully we have a name next year. Last time I was on, we were the Redskins. It's crazy. Now we're the football team. Who knew that was gonna happen?
WFP, man.
But I stream pregame up until after player warmups live from the stadium now. Created like an overlay with that, so that's something really cool to kind of
nice.
do as well. And then I did it for so I've been back with doing corporate stuff for the last maybe like 2-3 months. So Nordstrom, I did Hugo Boss. I would create, what I do is, because this is all but just me doing it just as an outlet. It also, it makes the time go by a lot quicker when I'm actually interacting with people in the chat and all that stuff. So I'll create like little overlays I did it for Hugo Boss. I did it for Nordstrom. I got Nordstrom coming up again on Saturday. I'm going to do, just update that one a little bit, because all I got to do is tweak like the store it is. And just stream, basically take that feed that's coming directly out to the stores. It just goes directly to your Twitch. It's no, like basically no different. The only thing you have is that interaction you have being on the mic with people that are in the chat. You don't have that, but I just kind of substitute that by just actually typing in the chat, so that's kind of where I'm at with
people as they're walking in and be like, hey, you should try on that blue shirt, not the green shirt.
Somebody did ask me to like start a dance battle. Somebody was on Twitch, they were like, yo, could you make somebody try to start a dance battle so we can see it on the screen? So that was kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like, the thing about that I think with, even whether it's Twitch, Mixcloud, wherever you're gonna be streaming, if you do it because you really just want to have fun with it, I think you'll have fun with it. If you do it like trying to replace income, it's not a good idea. It's just not. You're not gonna. You might hit that mark, but you're gonna actually probably do more damage to yourself in the process, because it's a lot of just medial learning and work and all this stuff. And if you're not really in it, just like we got into this game mostly DJing wise, like I don't think anybody that's on here got into DJing because they were like, oh, I want to make money. Most of us, by the time when we first started, didn't even know there was a whole lot of money in it. So we just did it because we love music. And the same thing with this is like, if you love music and you love connecting with people, and you love like for me, I have like all these ideas. then you'll put in the sweat equity to it, and you won't even worry about, like, a lot of times I'm doing these streams, it's like 9 people there. It doesn't matter to me.
Nah.
900 doesn't matter as long as I'm interacting with people and having a good time and actually executing the idea that I had in my head. You know, on the stream, I'm cool with all of that. You know, it's definitely gonna be a part of what I do going forward. You know, even as more gigs come back, I still haven't figured out a way to do a wedding properly yet because you're always at the mercy of the hotel Wi-Fi. But you know, one of these days I'll get it together.
Or if you're in the middle of nowhere at a farm or something like that.
That's definitely good advice.
Yeah, farms.
Satellite Wi-Fi does not work. I found out. You cannot. I've been to 2 big ass Airbnbs and could not stream once, and because they had satellite in the middle of the country. But just real quick though, I said this on the last stream, but also with the streaming game, now is the time that you can reinvent yourself as a DJ. If you don't like the music that you're playing in the club, let people know what you like now via the stream. So when you coming for future bookings and things of that nature, this is your sound. You're not forcing to play shit that you don't like because you're there to collect a check. You're doing it for the fun. You're showing, like, Twitch has made me a better DJ. Like it's made me open my horizon to music that I never would think to put together or play because I don't have the conscience of the club owner or this bougie club, but bottle service club, or you don't have to please the patrons. For those who don't like it, they can simply leave. You get a heckler every now and again, but that's with anything.
Yeah, and I totally agree with Buck on that. And, you know, I know our boy Koo has talked a lot about that too. Like, if you're streaming, the absolute last thing you should be trying to do is just play the 20 songs you'd be playing every night in the club. I mean, if you're streaming, you should take this opportunity and be you and play what you want to play, what you want to hear, because you don't have to worry about the owners being like, oh, people are leaving, people aren't dancing. You can just be you and enjoy yourself, and the audience that likes what you're doing will stay and come back, and the audience that doesn't like what you're doing, it, like Buck said, it doesn't matter.
Well, let me. I do want to kind of not counter some of that, but there's been like this big thing with DJing on these platforms of like, just play what you want to play what you want to hear, like. Just do you, period. If, like, for me, my club Saturday night party, I basically do what I would do in the club because that's what I want to do to have fun on that stream. So, like, there's no box for anybody on either side of this where it's like, oh, I don't play. Why are you playing that club shit? Why would you play something different? Like, no, if that's what you want to do, the audience that you're going to have that wants to rock with that will find it. Like, so there's really like there's no one way to do any of this stuff. That's the one thing I've learned is just do what you want to do, however you want to do it. Like, so like for my streams, a lot of times I don't have a lot of DJs on there because, and that doesn't surprise me because like I'm usually doing more commercial stuff because that's my party stream. But that's kind of how I want to play because that's what I kind of enjoy doing for that particular stream, you know.
Right. No, I totally agree with that. And I mean, but you're, like you said, you're still doing you. So, you know, if you're enjoying playing that, I mean, for me, I guess I played for, you know, usually club gigs every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if not sometimes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the past 20 years. So for me, it's a welcome break to not playing the same thing that I'd always be playing in the club every night.
Well, real quick, let's talk about like I mean, I just learned about this like this past week when I was streaming a couple times. There's somebody that brought up a good thing, you know, like some good tips for me to, you know,
don't drink,
to get my don't drink. Yes. That's actually one of the
we all know what happens when we drink.
Yeah, I know. Zoom party, I disappeared.
Leave some turntables on.
Crumbly.
No, but let's talk about what nobody's talking about really, and I didn't really even realize this, but some say the moderators are the lifeblood of your stream, other than like the talent
to the mods.
Other than the
I already shouted mine out earlier.
Other than the talent and like the personality, the moderator is so key in making sure your stream is successful. I mean, talk about that, Buck. I mean, you shout out Nightmare on Tube.
Yeah, Nightmare on Tube. She's actually been a big help. Not even just moderation, like she's actually being like a manager to me in a sense. Like after the stream, she'll even give me like a little. She does. This isn't your typical moderator though, so I'm spoiled by all means. it's rare, and like it's what's crazy is the power of the internet brought us together. But yeah, no, like they can just basically help moderate the things that you don't. So like if we're here DJing and we got someone heckling us or trolling their stream or something, you have to sit here and like kill your vibe of playing music and like, okay, let me block this motherfucker. All right, well, actually, let's just kick him out. No, like they can handle all that for you. So it's just basically it's the bouncer of the club. It's the bouncer right there at the club, helping, welcoming people, thanking people for throwing bids and things like that, and then just security check every now and again. So like it's just helps take the load off for those. Granted, my mind works a little differently because I'm doing visuals, I'm doing drum machine shit, I'm DJing,
You definitely got your hands full over there.
I'm a little over.
You're a monster, Buck. You fucking are so dope, bro.
Appreciate that. But
so Buck, just real question, because I don't spend a ton of time on Twitch, even like watching other people's streams. Are like legit hecklers that, because I haven't experienced that on like Mixcloud or Instagram when Instagram was kind of sort of allowing streaming earlier in quarantine. Like, so there are legit people that'll just come in and kind of troll you.
100%. Like I have certain words that I block off top because like I'm biracial myself. So like the N word is one of them. I literally have a dude that just walks in and he tries to just straight up say "igger," and I'm like, I see it as the moderator and it's blocked, and so he's like, he'll try another way. So he'll like do N1 GGER and like just for no reason. Like just that's his first topic of conversation right there. Is just straight up bam. I'm like, well, this is going to end well. Okay, let's see where this goes. And it's just like, but before I can even react, my monitor's like, nope, see you later, motherfucker. Like, so it just helps relieve some of the stress. But yeah, no, straight up. Like, there's people who literally, and especially when the whole George Floyd and all that stuff situation went down, there was literally like forces that went around and just to heckle streams and like cause, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but just heckle motherfuckers just for no reason,
causing controversy,
just to bring controversy, just to bring in hate into a positive environment. So it's there's motherfuckers out there, keyboard warriors.
Yeah, that's wild. I legit did not know that shit was happening.
Yeah.
I was in Vec's stream once. Vec, for anybody who doesn't know, does this thing where he's basically created a community to teach young turntablists how to just emulate his battle success and take their careers to the next level. But there's people that will come in his stream, not doing anything like racially motivated or whatever, just to argue with them about scratch techniques. And it gets sometimes as petty as that, but it can get as bad as like some racial stuff. So the internet's still the internet, but what I have noticed is in the DJ community, there's a lot less of that. You'll see a lot more of it in the gaming, like purely gaming streams or purely IRL stuff where there's nothing else. It seems like because we've got much more of a built-in tight-knit community amongst the DJ culture, there's a lot less of that.
The internet is a wild place.
It's still the internet.
Facts.
It is still the internet.
If Koo was here, he would say the internet's going to internet.
Yeah. Bonics, you were
full of food.
Yeah, go ahead, Bonics.
So, like, in the very, very beginning when all of it started, like, I got asked to do, like, a graduation for, like, a high school. And they, like, were going to pay good money. And I'm like, okay, cool. What could go wrong, right? So I just think about all the good things, though. Like, all right, let me get this content, blah, 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 OBS. Like, literally just learning it because I'm just like, fuck it. And what I don't know about moderators or anything like that. I'm literally starting my Twitch like Friday. I got the name for a while, but I just like started it like this weekend, but I haven't even streamed yet. So, so I'm pretty excited about that. But so I broadcasted it on my Twitch to the high school because we figured that Instagram wouldn't work and all this other shit, whatever. And people were writing like mean shit about teachers and like Mr. So-and-so touches like touch this student.
That's
and,
also
like,
the 15-year-old mindset too, though.
I couldn't watch any of it because I was DJing, and like I asked my sister checked it out, and they were being pretty derogatory, like high school kids would and shit. So that's good to know. I'll probably ask you about that, Buck, but that was like, I mean, I didn't care, I guess, like it's high school kids, like, but yeah, I might feel bad for that teacher or some shit,
Or just don't be a shitty teacher.
Yeah, exactly. He probably was.
You did something to piss him off.
Too much homework.
I didn't even want to look at, like, I didn't even go back and read it. Like, I started it and I was like, oh shit, I don't go down that hole. And I just took a U-turn and X'd this shit out.
If you need a mod, man, let me know what days you're going to be live, and I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. I don't even know what that is, so I'm going to figure that out.
Bouncers.
Yeah, just picture it like a bouncer. Straight up bouncer. Just security, ID check, all that shit.
Yeah, people that keep the chat in check.
Yeah.
Well, anything else we need to talk about Twitch?
I think we kind of covered it right there.
All right.
Remedy, when we can see you on there doing some dope routines, showing off.
Yeah,
the cuts
when are you gonna
and
get
nice
on
strips.
Twitch?
You guys were going to talk about that Pioneer, right?
Oh, you mean this thing?
Ooh.
Wait. Hold on. I gotta
zoom in.
spotlight
We
that.
got zoom in on that one.
We got the S11.
Oh, you mean this thing?
Is
That's great.
Is that your moderator?
That's how you moderate.
That's the moderator of the S11. Yeah, fuck off.
All right, I mean, that was a perfect segue right there. Buck, why don't you tell us about the S11?
Before we go into that, because we're going to shift into like DMC world and Red Bull talk. So right now, do we want to drop off a couple people, Chris?
I can take a step back. Yeah, but let's bring Art back
Sean,
in.
we'll drop Sean, and then we'll get because Throwdown and Art needs to get back.
I can step out too.
Yeah, I'm not a DMC guy. So
yeah,
we still talking about streaming services, DMC. What's going on?
So Throwdown, as one, come back to the stream. I guess Premonition.
Yeah.
Drop down. We'll get you back later. So once again, Throwdown. If you're still in the chat, Throwdown, come back and Art.
I told you he wasn't coming back. He's like, fuck y'all.
Nah, he there's too many of you guys on here. He wants to talk shit. So he was already texting me. He's like, yo, I'm in this waiting room. What's going on, man? Like, let me back in already.
All right, we got As one back. Ross, where are you?
I think I'm back. I'm back. All right.
He's on that slow mo.
Gio's like the doorman here.
Oh yeah, man.
He's the ultimate mod. He's the real life mod.
No Tims.
It's like Studio 54 in here.
First and last guy you see.
Hey Buck, is that like
nice buttery wheats, my friend? But I can't let you in with those.
Well, we'll wait. We'll throw down somewhere. I don't know where you are.
Will you let me in with these kicks on? Can these get me into the club?
I don't know about black and yellow.
As long as you're wearing a collared shirt.
You know what I do remember when I was traveling with Eric with Inferno. That's kind of when I realized like the DJ gets to do whatever the fuck they want. Like he can wear.
Wait. What did I do?
Eric did not go up wearing board shorts or anything, but like if he walked up to the gig and like Borgata wearing board shorts and like a like flip flops, they would have still let him in the booth.
I think legit my record is I think I once broke 5 different things on a dress code when I went to a spot to DJ. It was like no t-shirts, no hats, no sneakers. I just rolled in like jeans, sneakers, t-shirt, ball.
They can't see that anyways. You're behind a DJ booth.
Well, the most important accessory is your backpack, man. As long as you got your backpack, you're good to go. Whatever you're wearing, man. I'm the DJ, man. There you go.
What you get?
I'll walk into places.
You're always gonna be in, even if you're not DJing.
Yeah, so I was the guy on the other side, but then once I became on the other end, I started owning that shit. I'm like, yo,
I'll just walk in if I have like my backpack. Like I'll sometimes do lounges in Vegas and like 5 at Deluxe or in Jewel there when I finish. I'll straight up walk in and I'll say I'm the DJ. I'll just walk in.
Dude, that shit literally happened to me the first time ever in Vegas. I was playing at Taboo when that was still around, and I was going to visit some homies before my set, and I'm freaking out because I'm like, how are they going to let me in on, I have a backpack on me. I'm not DJing at this club. I literally roll up to like a club with a backpack on, and they just open the rope and they're like, come on. Like, I didn't even say I'm DJing. They just assumed I was. I was like, oh shit. Like,
don't look lost.
This is the way to get the clubs in Vegas. Just throw around with your DJ backpack.
Wait, what's one more item for a DJ starter kit? A backpack, a hat, and what's the other item? Headphones.
Mentos.
Sunglasses.
Okay.
This was back when, remember everyone had the pinstriped headliner bag. Everyone had the black headliner bag with the pinstripes.
I had the black one.
That's always the best when you walk into a club with your hat and it's a no hats club. and all these dudes just had to take off
that is
their hat.
the best.
We're like,
That's what I'm saying. Hey, that's
"What's
the best
that?"
feeling. I used to own it. If you booked me at Bottle Service Club, man, I wore sneakers, baggy pants, hat, everything. I didn't give a shit. I'm like, yo, I'm getting in this motherfucker.
Has anybody walked in with a tote bag, man? Because I know that was like a big trend for a couple of years.
Yeah, peace to Impulse. Shouts to Impulse.
Yeah, I was gonna say Impulse always comes with the fashion plate flag.
I was doing the tote bag thing for a minute, and the tote bag thing makes sense for those gigs that you literally all you have to do is bring your laptop and your headphones, records or something, or maybe no records. Maybe they just have CDs. Everything's built in. Just bring the tote bag.
You guys never just use sticks? Like you're just so lazy and you just put the USB
all day.
That's called the Euro. I learned this from Inferno. That's called the Euro trash. That's called the Euro trash.
It's called I don't need to be responsible for my backpack, so I get fucked up.
Especially if it's like really hot outside and the computer might get fucked up.
Oh yeah, no. Anything 2016 and up is trash.
Or if you're going to a show at the 930 Club before your gig and you leave your laptop in the car.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that
don't do that ever again. How about that?
I mean,
rest in peace, my 2013 MacBook.
If I knew you were doing that, I would have been like, for the love of God, do not leave your stuff in the car, even if it's covered on that block. Like that's just asking for it.
Quick story for those that don't know. I was playing at Heist on a Tuesday with Chris, and I want to say, was it you and Trey?
No, it was Harry. Yeah.
It was you, Harry.
Yeah.
And so we went to, I was going to a Chromeo show at the 930 Club beforehand, and I got into DC. If I got in early, Chris, I'd have probably been like, hey, let me come to your spot and I'll, leave my backpack there. And I got in late and I went straight to the show and I put my backpack on the floor in the back seat of my car. And sure enough, when I came out from the show to go back to my car, the back window was just broken and my whole DJ bag was gone. And the crazy thing is I was just getting ready to switch to a newer laptop. The laptop I lost was pretty old, but honestly, it was, I lost 4, Techniques, with Shure cartridges on them, 4 Techniques head shells with M447 cartridges, pair of headphones. Honestly, the other stuff I lost in my bag was probably equally valuable as the laptop. So that wasn't the best night for me.
No.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Well, sometimes depending on what neighborhood you're in, you got to decide, like, is it better to keep this in the car or is it better to keep it on my person where the street is hot?
Mm-hmm.
I've had not 1, not 2, but 3 motherfucking laptops stolen over the past 20 years. And, I learned a thing or two each time. As a matter of fact, now I keep absolutely everything on my laptop on Dropbox. There is not a
That's
thing
you guys.
on my entire
I don't be
computer.
looking shit because I don't trust nobody.
But I was in Baltimore last time in the hood by all the strip clubs, and like the streets were shiesty. Like I was like, I think I have a better chance of leaving it in my trunk as long as as long as you don't get out of your car and put something in the trunk in plain sight.
Right.
But
Well, I 100%. The crazy thing for this to happen to me is I 100% normally never leave my bag in my car. Like I literally will go out to eat at 3 a.m. with like homies after a club gig. And Chris can tell you, we've gotten to get pizza, where we can see the car, and I still take my backpack in every time. But I was going to a show at 9:30, and I'm like, I really don't think they would have let me in with a bag, So that was the only reason. I would have happily watched Chromeo with the backpack on for 2 hours, hour, or whatever. But it just, for me, I was like, I don't think they're ever going to let me in. So that's why I left it.
Where you messed up? You're supposed to walk to the front door and be like, I'm the DJ.
There it is.
You messed up.
I'm the opener.
I'm
Chromeo. I'm the DJ for Chromeo.
I've got an amazing superpower to just black out while I'm DJing and then arrive at my house, all my cables wrapped in my backpack. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll be like, "Oh fuck, did I leave my backpack there?"
It's all
look
there.
by the door and everything.
No, it's amazing how that works, man. You become very organized when you're drinking.
The only thing I've ever left at a club, and I've done this multiple times, is a MacBook charger.
Oh, chargers, cables all day. I can always tell when I'm wrecked when I come home and my bag's just spaghetti. I'm just like, check. All right, going.
Well, as
I've
a
left
mobile
my hard drive a
DJ,
couple times.
I've learned how to keep spare stuff in the car. Like you keep an emergency like roadside kit. I keep an emergency DJ mobile kit next to the roadside kit.
I will say I started actually keeping a pair of headphones and a MacBook charger in my center console of my car, like an extra MacBook charger that never leaves my car.
There you go.
Dude, even if it's earbuds take up no space, but in a pinch, if you have no headphones, like at least they're there. You can go out, grab them real quick.
For sure.
Honestly, I switched to earbuds. I've been using these 6-driver in-ears that are $50 on Amazon, compared to them with $600 Westowns, and they blow them out the water.
So have I. I've been using the tin audio.
I'm using CCA.
Okay. Send me, I'll hit you up. Send me that link. I'll send you the link to the ones I got off Amazon.
I got you.
$60. Super
customs
dope.
too, man. I was on customs for a long time, like the in-ear UE.
I got customs because of you, Eric. Yeah.
Yeah,
are you
well,
on customs still?
Don't do that shit.
Yeah.
No, but like I stopped because they broke. But then I started realizing like, wait a minute, it's probably easier just to get something that has a, like this is what I've been using. I've been using these Shure SE 215s. So they're like $100, right? And then I apparently have large ear holes. What's that? Yeah, I gotta get a different type of this thing, like the earbud. But then now once it fits, it's way easier to, like, if I need to have a conversation with somebody, I talk to them. I use this for when I'm teaching. Yeah. Are those customs then?
No, these are the next one up. So these are 7-driver in-ears. These are $70 CCA 7 drivers, and like I can't turn my volume past 50% because it's too loud.
What?
Wow.
I know. Like they look like they're like I said, I've compared them to $600 Westowns, and they blow them out of the water. They sound good. They don't fatigue my ear. They have the pre-wrapped cables.
I'm using these right now.
I had the Westowns once.
The 10 audio.
Okay.
These are I got these $50 on Amazon. These work really well. They wrap over and boom. Solid, man. The cable, everything. But I'm using my old Ultimate Ears UE5 case for them. So this is the case for like a $600.
Yeah, exactly.
In here, but now they're just holding some $50.
So for those who do use in-ears now, and we're streaming a lot, I just picked up a sponsor by this company called SKAA, SKAA, and they have it's basically damn near latency-free wireless headphones.
Word. Oh, we were talking about this. I think Sean J. He's probably gonna say something here he put me onto that. He was talking about SKAA.
Yeah, you can have up to like 2 inputs too, like 2 or 3 inputs.
I also do
same channel and stuff.
Yeah, I have a wireless setup that I do for in-ears as well. I got my kit off Amazon, dude, for $100. It's the.
Is it Bluetooth though?
No, it's not Bluetooth. No.
Okay.
You got to have power, and I think it's RF signal.
Well, yeah, no, they have to have power. SKAA's his own like signal.
This is
it's not Bluetooth. Yeah, so it's a little different.
So it's a new technology.
Yeah. It's so much tighter. So like if I'm doing my finger drum stuff and all that stuff, like it's literally on point, on cue.
So you have it. You're sponsored by them?
Yeah.
Or you're
okay, well, it's in the mail, but yeah.
It's in the mail. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, since we're getting into like really like deep like equipment talk, man, let's talk about that S11.
Oh, this old thing.
Nice.
Switch to camera 10.
Yeah. Super funny because I knew that thing was coming out, but I recently just hit up Pioneer to get a deal on an SRT 1000. And in my mind, I was like, I could try to get a deal on that too, but I needed the SRT.
The 1000's where it's at. It's where it's at, I'm telling you.
That thing is a beast, but I was like, shit, I should have tried to get a deal on the S11 too.
The one thing with
I got you, boo.
Yo, the one thing about the S11 from the features that I saw is you can actually control both deck 1 and deck 3 at the same time, and deck 2 and 4 to do virtually four deck juggling.
Yep.
Have you done that, Buck, on the S11?
I'm gonna be real. I haven't really dove that deep into some of the features. Like the biggest thing that I love about it is the scratch bank now. So like basically you have your sampler bank, but you also have a scratch bank So literally, you can preload your scratch samples right here, and just boom, there's my first cut tool, second cut tool, like all that stuff right there at the touch of a button. So like even like if you're doing routines and shit too, like it doesn't have to just be a scratch bank, but like basically you can preload a routine and have all your tools right there without having to go into your library and physically.
I feel like I thought of that idea like the week Serato came out.
Right?
I wanted that for such a long time.
Well, here's
So
the
Buck, does that go into a separate the scratch deck you're talking about? Or
it's its own independent sampler. So it's just like the sampler SP6, but it's
So does
like
that play out of the aux?
You can control the records though.
So basically it's just like instead of launching the sampler, it's launching it to the deck you choose to load it. So it's actually loading the actual sample or the whatever you want to put in there, your cut tool
to the deck.
To the deck.
It's playing out of like that channel, like your left or right channel on the mixer.
Yeah, so it depends on what side you hit it, because like now the biggest thing, you can split cues too. So I can have my sampler up over here and then cue points over here.
Oh, wow.
Whereas on the S9, if you hit just the cue point, it's cue points across all of it now. So so now I can have like samplers here and then have like cue scratch and do whatever you want on the other deck.
That's sick.
So here's another question. I don't know, Buck, you might not know this. I don't know if anybody knows this. I know that Pioneer mentioned, and I know that it has inputs in it for USB inputs, and I know that they said that you can plug USBs that are from even some non-Pioneer equipment in it. Does anyone know if you're able to plug Rain 12s into that?
Yeah, it reads it.
Yes.
This also runs Rekordbox and Serato.
Okay,
So
I heard that.
runs
I heard that you can.
But yeah, it works just like a normal USB hub. So like it says CDJs on the back of it because ideally they want you to upsell and get the CDJs. But yeah, no, it works Rain 12s too. Because I was a big 72 user before they sent me this.
Can you use Rekordbox and Serato at the same time?
No, I don't believe so. And there's still a few glitches that they're working on. I mean, this is literally the first generation of the firmware. So I mean, more stuff's going to be developed as they work the kinks and stuff.
That was the first thing I thought about. It's like basically it's the first hardware that where you can connect you can use Rekordbox and also Serato. In the
minus the 900. Not 900, but you had to get the DBS.
Speaking of two things at the same time, for those guys that are watching and don't know, all the super duper shit that you might be seeing guys like Inferno, Buck Rodgers doing, it's about Ableton and Serato.
Pretty much.
But the big question I have, the big question about S11, because like with the Rekordbox and Serato, it's like, I was thinking about it, it's like, like maybe Rekordbox becomes a backup for in case your Serato laptop like goes down or whatever.
Yeah, but you still can't use sticks. Like it's not built like a CDJ. It's just built for the software version of Rekordbox, so it's not 100% of a failsafe. But once my 3000s get here, though, we're gonna definitely HID mode them and good to go.
You're still
Fucking
fancy.
love HID mode.
It's pretty, and now that the hub's in the mixer, you don't have to get that the hub and all that shit now because like it's just literally boop boop boop, one USB to the computer, done. So it's a nice little feature.
How do you like the smooth echo, Buck?
It's pretty dope. It's rather smooth. But no, like be real, I haven't really, I haven't looked that deep into it. Like I had the 909, and that by all time, like that was so far ahead of its time. That the 909 was.
Oh yeah,
like that was so far ahead of its time.
The day I sold mine was a sad day, man. I need my cash though.
But you can still get them for like $300-400 on eBay now. So
yeah, those things are heavy.
But I love how Pioneer pulls them out at NAMM every now and again. Like, oh, remember this? Yeah, we still got a few.
The wild thing, too, about the S11, I don't know how many people realize this, but I haven't seen it in person yet. But Adam C. was sending me pictures of his, and that thing is almost as tall, like as a turntable. I mean, it's
tall.
It's about the same size as the 72.
It's tall.
Speaking of like seeing like that mixer in person, I mean, everybody heard that DJ Expo is going to be, I guess, going virtual this month. Has anybody heard about that? The DJ Expo in Atlantic City.
Next week.
Is it next week?
No, the 72 is way bigger. Like the 72 goes from top to top. This is a little taller, but it's still not as tall, so you can still get your cables between it. Like for those who like to wrap it like in the deck, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do that.
But yeah, no, there's honestly not much of a difference. Like basically, I feel Pioneer waited for Rain to fix all their shit, and they're like, okay, we got that.
No,
and
they really did. They really did, because I remember. I'm sure I can't be the only one. 2 years ago, I got the email to do the questionnaire for Pioneer, and all the questions were clearly leading to.
Well, they've been working on this for 3 years.
It was clearly leading to another mixer. So, but
Well,
2 years ago.
I know someone else is dropping something soon. I'm not going to say who or what, but there's more to be leaked. So.
Gemini.
Hey, bring it back.
Gemini. He said Gemini.
Gemini's coming back with the Rain Pioneer Killer.
Oh shit! We're bringing back DJ in a box, son.
Come back.
Shouts to Doc Blust, our associate producer. He's getting into DJ gear and stuff, and he sent us a link. He's like, "What about this?" He sent us a Gemini product. And I kept my mouth shut, but Gio was like, "Trash."
There's a Denon rotary mixer coming out.
I didn't say it. I was gonna say it's probably Denon.
Speaking of DJ times, Throwdown, myself, and who am I brain farting on right now? Ross. For the article we were just saying.
Oh, that was Jose.
Yeah, Jay. Jose. But, yeah, they did a quick little article about battle DJs and the DJ times. Even though Guetta's the number one DJ for some reason. But.
Yeah. Man, you guys got okay. Wait. Let's talk about that though. So you're saying battle DJs in 2020 just got some shine in DJ times?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty crazy.
Like a little blurb, a page, 2, 3 pages.
I think it was like 3 pages. I think.
Okay, I gotta check this out, man.
It's a dope article. Because,
3 digital pages. Let's refine. 3 digital pages.
I think it's like you could turn the page like twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's happened before though. That's happened before. I remember Shifty when Shifty won back in 2007.
Where's he been? He's been so low key. I haven't seen much from Shifty lately.
He's out in Brooklyn, man. He's got his own place there. He's mixing records. He's got an amazing studio, man. He's really good at that stuff.
When's another Easy collaboration going on?
Yeah, what's up with Easy?
I would love to, man, but it's just my
Easy,
time.
man.
It's not very easy to get together.
Let's get the Beezy going. Let's get the Beezy going.
Yeah.
He was in fucking Easy.
The Beezy.
Be easy.
Well, does he still keep his gold turntables like under the coffee table?
Oh, I don't know, man. Last time I saw him was a couple years ago, and
FaceTime him right now.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. I checked out the studio, man. It was nice, man. He's got the whole setup there. He has artists come in, record. He's got a place out in Brooklyn. It's a bigger, like a nice big two bedroom place, but they got an extra room for the
studio, for
the actual studio.
Shifty should have come back on the DMC Worlds Online and just do his routine on those gold turntables and troll everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So let's talk about
I Emerge.
I Emerge. Here's the thing.
Man.
I think a lot of people are saying he trolled us, but I think deep inside, maybe he didn't. Maybe he was just doing him, and he fucking came off like he trolled us, but he didn't. I don't know.
Well, Immortal hit me up the day that they announced him the winner.
I was gonna say Immortal is the only guy who would really know.
So he hits me up and he's like, "Dog, like I can't believe this. Like, you know what? You and Immortal gotta give me some pointers, like so I can get ready." And then he 3-ways on FaceTime with Immortal
Merge.
Yeah. So Merge gets on, and I'm just like, "Oh my God! I've worshipped the ground this guy walks on like my entire life. Like, what do I say?" And I'm like, first thing that comes out of my mouth, I'm like, "All right, dude, I just need to know, like straight from the horse's mouth, what was your motivation for your U.S. finals set?" And he's like, well, I mean, I don't want to, inflict any personal meaning onto it. I really want people to just watch it and just You know, I want people to come up with their own interpretation.
Interpretive art. Just like Gio said, it's interpretive.
That's what I said.
Interpretive dance of turntablism.
I'm just repeating.
Interpretive dance of.
All right, I'm just repeating from a conversation that I was talking from one world champion who was talking to another, somebody who's a 3-time world champion, and he was the one, that 3-time world champion was the one that said, "What the fuck is this shit, man? Is this like some interpretive art shit?"
But dude, literally, I promise you, he meant every word of the vague statement that he, like, I was posting my scores the next day, and I had written, I wrote like comments for every single person's thing, and then
real quick,
you talked to him before the scores went up. That's not fair.
Real quick, to give some context to what we're talking about, I emerged, came back on DMC Worlds. He made it to the US finals. He had a dope elimination round. But basically, I mean, some say he's considered the greatest battle DJ of all time because he had that stretch from 2004 to like 2006 where it's like nobody, even Craze.
Yeah, well, we're talking stats. Craze won the 3 big ones, but
I mean, he was a 5-time. He was a 5-time world champion during that stretch, man. So for
every battle that was out.
For somebody who's considered the greatest battle DJ of all time, arguably, to come back and post that interpretive.
Yeah. But that's why, I mean, he's got the juice. Like, he could seriously, like, smoke everybody if he really wanted to. So to do what he did was so provocative. And my comment, I was like, ... Well, clearly, after much deliberation, I've decided that this dude just trolled the shit out of all of us. But after talking to him, like, at length, he was like, he is like the full embodiment of, like, aloof artist. Like, he really doesn't care what anybody thinks at all. Like, it's just interpretive. And I have so much more respect, like, talking to him, because I was ready to just be like, I don't know what the hell I just saw. But after, like, I still don't really fully comprehend what he was trying to communicate, but I can tell, like, he is so committed to the idea of, like, expressing yourself for
Clayton Bigsby. He's that committed. he's that committed.
The Clayton Bigsby. Oh shit!
And in case anybody doesn't know, like, the whole DMC battle, we talked about this in a few episodes ago. During the season, the DMC battle, they're all online. It's all online due to COVID. And right now we're at the DMC elimination round, which they aired. They finally released everybody's. It's 14 competitors or 16 competitors that are basically, they put up their elimination round this past Sunday. So I believe they're gonna announce
next week. It's on like Monday.
Next week for like who's gonna make it to the world finals. Do we know how many people?
It's gonna be 6 in the finals, and we don't know if Skills is defending or not. But
okay.
I'm sure he'd be trying to go for that 3-peat.
So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Like, has anybody seen anybody's routines? I'll tell you this right now. I think top 3 is gonna be not in particular order. It's going to be K-Swiss, 14 from Japan, and JFB from UK.
I haven't watched any of the
videos. He is such a beast, yo.
JFB is dope.
So when I won the Serato Cup in Jazzy's house, like, JFB, like, he was the only competitor. Well, him, Espinoza, Miles, they all dropped out, but JFB was practicing so fucking much he crashed his laptop. That was probably the only reason why I would have won, because if that motherfucker was in it, he was literally just. Like, the whole part of the playlist, though, is like to, absorb and see everyone and, get inspired. But he was just literally in the basement just fucking working on his routine the whole time. He's such a beast, though.
He deserves a world title. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those
100%.
Like a director who's been in the game for 30 years and he still hasn't won, like, an Emmy yet. You're like, what? How is this possible?
Okay, I'll go ahead and say it. You know what? Now that I thought about it, with everybody in the finals right now, you know how it is. It's usually it seems like it is his time. So I think he knows it, and if he works his ass off, he can get
Which
it.
he does.
But
JFB, you're talking about?
yeah, JFB. Yeah, all he needs to do is work his fucking ass off. Fuck the internet. Fuck watching us talk about him.
To be honest, man, to be honest, the way things work, as far as like judging in politics, I think it's case for his time, man. I think he's gonna finally get that world championship, man.
Yo, where can I watch
already?
Is he?
He's got like 5 world champions, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, Swizz already has some titles.
Swizz and Rainer.
Well,
Like, they
Swizz doesn't have
titles.
the main title, the number one title.
Yeah, well, yes.
He's
well,
also
of
in
course,
that. He's
everyone
also
wants
in
the
that.
showcase title.
He's also in that cocky
Maybe
era
someone
too,
can
where he's the
drop
teenager age are kicking in.
link. Can someone drop the link in the chat of
Thank you, Remedy.
Twitch chat where Remedy just did? Yeah.
Anyways, those guys know. Those are all my brothers, man. I wish them the best. I hope they fucking. Here's the thing, as a fan, and this is what I told people about my DMC set. I kind of just did it to do it. I wasn't gonna do it, but with the involvement of the school and DMC setting up a studio for practice space, and since I'm the lead instructor and I had to set it up, I watched it. I was like, man, I would feel bad like wasting this setup. So I might have to just do a 2-minute just to do it. And then the 3-minute took me 3 days to put together. Nothing too crazy. I wanted to have fun. But like I said on my stream, as long as the fans were able to get a little bit of excitement this year over about turntablism and have something to wait for and be like, man, I'm waiting for these videos. Like, I'm happy to have been a part of that for them this year. Like, you know, I want to help keep turntablism alive. And I realized that not battling this year, I would not have been able to really help the way I wanted to.
Well, here's what I want to talk about. Like, I want to ask the panel, especially like, you know, like the guys that's, you know, Inferno, of course, you know, he got runner-up in the Worlds.
You're a beast.
I still have that DVD.
God.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I definitely want to get everybody's opinion on like U.S. competitors, because like right now, you know, like as far as like the U.S. competitors, it hasn't been that great. You know, as far as like, you know, like like of course the last world champion that came out of the U.S. is Vajra, aka Chris Carnes. And then the closest one, the last person who got second place was ID. You know, that was 2014, and then Traps got third place, I think, in 2016.
Yeah.
But nobody has placed since then. Like, what do you think is happening with the American scene? Why is it that we're not getting anybody? You know, I mean, Throdown, you've been there a couple times. You know, in the U.S. You know what?
First thing I think underground hip hop culture is dying, and no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
So like we went to other countries when we were out there, not just London. Like we went to Amsterdam and France and Serbia, and like, dude, they eat hip hop culture.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we've been around the world. Dude. These cats eat it up. In America, they don't give a fuck. They just want the new shit, the shiny shit. Like, they don't give a shit about like cultural.
Oh, what is it gonna take for another American to like win the whole thing? Because right now we're getting our asses whooped.
Leave America.
But so
Hunger strike.
So just I think like a comparison thing that I can think of for that I observed was in the mid 2000s when AM and Jazzy Jeff, from the club standpoint, from the like bottle service club, were touring everywhere and you know and Vice and everyone. All of the younger up and coming DJs wanted to emulate them, and that's what everyone wanted to be. And then things turned over in the club scene, I think nationwide, in the early to mid 2010s, where everyone wanted to be an EDM producer because that was what there was to emulate. And I think you might have some guys still going after Red Bull 3 style because that's a much bigger deal in the US. But I don't think, I mean, I think there's even a ton of DJs in the US that aren't really familiar with DMC and don't follow DMC at all. So I think there's no hero out there right now that the young DJs know of, like, oh, like I know of this guy. I want to be as good as this guy when I get older and practice. So I think that's kind of the rut that we're stuck in right now. And unless somebody comes up on their own, I feel like there needs to be that leader for the younger DJs to look up to. And obviously that doesn't exist right now as far as people that are they're DJs good enough, but that they still aren't competing right now.
I thought Rodgers was that guy.
Looking back on it, I think I even had this conversation a couple times back then. I'm talking about I'm talking about when Serato started like becoming prevalent over vinyl, right? So that for me, that was 2000. For me, it was around I think I switched in 2006 to vinyl to Serato.
Well,
but
you actually battled at the end of the vinyl era, like right at the tail end.
Yeah. No, I battled to like 2004.
Eric, what year did you win again? I remember I was in high school and I went with you guys to New York, and I didn't get it because I was so young.
2003, man, 2003, and then I went to the Worlds and everything. But the thing is, if you think, like I was thinking about this back then, if you think about it, people have a lot more, or what do you call it, prospective battle DJs, whoever those people might be or might have been back then. A lot of those people found other opportunities elsewhere because Serato technology opens up all these different, avenues for people. So it's like, okay, if you can, I honestly thought like back then, I was like, I wonder if Serato could be credited for like not killing the battle scene, but like having a hand in it not growing anymore. Because if you think about it, the amount of time that you have that you could spend, like I know a lot of guys that like came from the DMC world. They were never really doing a lot of like nightclubs, parties like that. Like I started off in 1991 playing like high school parties, and then I started getting to nightclubs after college in 97 and 98. But I kept doing those parties. That was part of my thing, right? And then I got into the battle DJ or the battle DJing after that. But like the biggest barrier to entry for a lot of DJs had always been having enough of a vinyl collection, amassing enough of that in order to be able to play a gig, then getting out, networking people and trying to make that work. But then, so it's like, all right, well, once those barriers go down, it seemed like, well, if somebody had a choice between putting like 4 or 5 hours a day into a routine that may or may not work out for you at the end of the day, or the needle might jump, it's like all these things, variables go into it, put all that work into it. Or, hey, you know what? I can just kind of like start downloading off what was that back then? Like Napster,
Fairshare,
putting together, or getting together my friends, getting a collection of music. It's like, wait a minute, I can just go try to shop my mixtapes at a club and like get work and like make money and like, wait, I can make this a career. Oh, wait, hold up. So all these eyes open, I think like it's a major draw away from the culture of the battling from back then. And for me, it was like, yeah, man, like I just love that whole culture back then. I was so into the idea of not, honestly, man, it wasn't, for me, it was never really competing until later. It never really was about competing to try to win. It was sort of like this challenge where like, I just wanted to do better than I did the last time. Like, honestly, you know what I mean? Or I didn't want to mess up. I just want to get through it. Don't mess up. And be okay with that, because there's plenty of times where I would go up there, my hand would be shaking, like I would have like, the nerves would get the better of me. That happened plenty of times leading up to that. For me, it was a personal goal, right? But like, if you think about it, just going back to like what's happened over the years, I think that has a big part in it. And then like, I think people having the option to do other things aside from preparing for DJ battles. You look at Red Bull, right? Okay, well, like you're gonna enter a DJ battle, right? Are you gonna, if you don't know anything really about the culture and you're just sort of getting into DJing and say, oh, this is pretty dope, different types of like scratching, juggles, like technicality of the DMC. But they go, oh, wait a minute, Red Bull over here. I know, I've heard of Red Bull. Like, oh wait, what are the winners get? Oh, they get a lot of money. Like, maybe let me check that out. You know what I mean?
So that's like a marketing thing, dude. Red Bull's got like exponentially more money than like DMC.
But it changed every year, though. It changed every year.
It has been changed. But
the money has changed. The money has changed.
In people's eyes, like if you think about it, just think their attention will be like, oh, wait a minute, this is an option too. People just didn't have as many options back then when I was battling.
Very true. Very true.
Maybe that's part of it.
If you look at the trajectory of tennis and battling, specifically DMC battling, you'll see a very significant parallel. Tennis in the 80s, you had McEnroe, You had Agassi in the '90s with Sampras. Think about DMC battling in the '90s, mid '90s, and then like, when's the last time you've seen any American male anyway win any tennis major? It's been a minute.
Well, the big thing that I've I'm just going back to what ID said on social media that got me like thinking about it, and he was being honest about the U.S. finals, and he mentioned, man, this group of like people in the U.S. final is like it's as a whole it's crap. It's like everybody in the Australian finals would have shitted on like everybody in the top.
You're talking about this year?
Yeah, and he's really disappointed of like what came out of like the U.S. finals this year, because like we were talking about it on the episode, and we were thinking, man, maybe the online final is going to bring out so many people out of the woodworks and get like and get the U.S. scene back to where it was very, very competitive, but like he was very disappointed like what the outcome was on the U.S. finals, where not the top three placing, but he said like overall like everybody from like fourth place and
I mean, if you notice, like most of the heavyweights that you would expect to enter, like nobody entered.
Let's just call it that. Not a lot of heavyweights entered.
Yeah, and like I think our country has been dealing with more overlapping crises than most of the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like I think most people at the beginning of 2020 when we got locked down and they're like, yo, at least, there's going to be all these talented people at home and they're going to be like cranking it. You're going to see a lot of albums and mixtapes and EPs and videos and blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I don't think I've really seen the type of output that I was expecting, because like we're all out here like uninspired and just sort of hoping for a tomorrow that doesn't suck.
Once again, though, I'm okay with that as well, because if I wasn't doing that, what was I doing? I was spending time with family. Me and my dad have fucking lunch on Sundays every day now. Like just there's these new connections. Like I'm just closer with my family now, and that is priceless. So even if I didn't put out a lot of the work that I said I was going to do, if I didn't put out the battle routines I would hope I wanted to put out earlier, I'm okay with that, because I'm alive, my family is alive, and we love each other. And I have a puppy.
You still got fourth place with 3 days worth of effort in the U.S. finals.
3 days worth of effort got me fourth place. Yes.
Let's go to Buck real quick, because he had a comment he wanted to make. I was seeing in the chat. You had something you wanted to say, Buck?
I don't recall. I was commenting on Inferno doing the Rubik's Cube as he's going for round 2 right now. Speaking of like the whole crisis and unplugging, like when
wait, I gotta see that Rubik's Cube.
Get it? Oh shit! You got the drum set in the back now. When did that get there?
Get it, Eric.
No pressure. We're not watching.
Maybe America's.
You're not.
Okay, fine.
Competitive Rubik's cubing. That's the next
Inferno, if you can't do that in like 7 seconds, you're never making the U.S. finals for Rubik's cubing.
Yeah, I know 12-year-olds that could.
Jeez, look at that.
That would dust you, bro.
Hey, he got all the right.
That's a threat.
I'm just joking. But yo, shout out to DJ Miles Money, our boy Bill. He has a whole wall of Rubik's cubes. Yeah, he's a Rubik's cube master himself. Hey, that just happened live here.
Wait, what happened?
9-9.
Damn.
That's impressive.
9-9.
Wait, is that
Inferno? Figuring out.
Is that on a COVID acquired skill?
Yeah, actually,
I need to do that.
I'm waiting the most. Actually, I guess.
I need to. I'm literally 41 years old, and I've never solved the Rubik's cube.
Yeah.
I need to get on that as my next COVID activity.
There you go.
I only saw the ones that had the stickers that you could peel off and peel all the stickers off and put it back on.
You were that kid. You were that kid, weren't you?
I saw that Netflix documentary. I was like, oh, my son was like, "Can we get one of those?"
Yo-yos. Cat's Cradle. I used to do Cat's Cradle, walk the dog. Oh, I need to get a yo-yo.
What was the freestyle
Oh,
yo-yo so called?
yo-yo,
The OG
yo.
ones that had the bearings. What were they called?
Oh.
The ones with the bearings. The fucking
Yeah.
What were they called? That's like when the Gigapet and all that shit was out.
God. Yo, I know exactly what you're
X
talking
Factor or what the fuck was it? What was that yo-yo? Side
I don't
talk.
know.
Anyways.
Anybody in the chat, if you know what kind of yo-yo that is, post it up, man.
The OG
Done
bearing
something,
yo-yo.
Duncan.
Duncan yo-yo.
When you put
Well, those are the most
together for
famous
2.5
brands.
hours, you
Yeah,
end up
Duncan
talking about yo-yos and Rubik's Cube.
Omega might be one.
Omega, there we go.
They actually stole my yo-yo idea. I wrote to them when I was 10 years old, and I met the dude on an airplane when I was like 18. He's like, "Yeah, we have a new yo-yo coming out," and it was the idea that I sent them when I was like 10 or 12. It's the Omega. It's crazy, man. They actually
patented
it. Put my yo-yo idea out.
Are you fucking serious? What the hell, dude? I'm so confused.
What's that?
He's asking, "Are you serious?" I'm so confused.
Yeah, great. Real talk, man. I used to dig in the yo-yos. I submitted the idea, and they put out my yo-yo. They didn't get the credit for it. It's all good.
That just happened, guys. You heard it here. 99.
Does Red Bull do a competitive yo-yo?
We'll see, man.
Give him a minute. They will.
Right.
You guys want to talk about Red Bull canceling their World Finals? I guess
I'm crying.
This past Friday,
It's okay. I can do without 15 minute sets.
you were gonna be there, right, Buck? You were gonna.
I wasn't gonna. Hell no. I'm done with Red Bull and battling. For now, I honestly, one milestone that I really do want to do that I have yet to do is DMC. Like that's the only surface I haven't touched yet, and I get called out a lot by it. So, and I honestly, I just battle just to keep the sword sharp. Personally, because it forces me to.
Yeah, screw those dudes. But at the end of the day, I know what you're saying.
well, as one man, Art did have that unpopular opinion on Red Bull, on our battle season episode. But they are canceling.
What was the unpopular opinion?
I mean, I don't know. It's just the idea that they say they're throwing a DJ battle, and if they say they're for the culture, then they would have figured out a way to figure out the world finals. They already had everybody for the battle, and I think as an artist, the amount of time you spend on a set is crazy. So for them to just go, don't worry about it. No, nothing else. Like, don't worry about it. You'll hear from us. It sucks.
Every year it kind of changed with Red Bull.
I mean, I'm with you on that. I wouldn't consider that an unpopular opinion. I would, unless you work for Red Bull, I would probably consider that a popular opinion.
Well, you have to think about it in the sense of the entire mass that go and think about DJ battles. Most people would probably say, "Wow, Red Bull."
I'm talking specific DJ battle culture. If they want to put their hands in this pocket, that's all. I don't know. I'm gonna feel the way I feel.
Well, here's the proper public, statement that they made. I mean, in light of health concerns and the advice of health authorities around the world, the 2021 edition of the Red Bull 3-Star World Final has been canceled. We trust that this decision will be understood and respected. And then, DJ City, shout out to DJ City.
Look at Remedy's face.
Basically added, however, the likely inability to host packed indoor nightclub competitions with hundreds of attendees over several rounds proves to be the determining factor of the cancellation of the 2021 attempt at the competition. So hosting empty venue or online only DJ sets as competition would not necessarily be dissimilar or unique compared to any of the thousands of DJ sets that are already streaming online. So I guess they're saying, they rely on that nightclub atmosphere.
That was a long-winded explanation.
That was really long-winded.
He's practicing his reading.
We're gonna try to bend you around with a big ass long ass.
Their lawyers definitely wrote that.
Yeah. Yeah, and look again. I have a relationship with Red Bull. I've worked. I stage managed that show, the U.S. final.
Not anymore. You don't.
No, I know. Probably, but again, it's like I've gotten checks from them. It's just come on. It's like, but this is me. If you know my history, I've been.
I don't think anybody checks this little podcast, man. So
I've been DJ battling for so freaking long that it's like it's close to me. So if you want to,
I don't know, we're at 1,000 viewers.
If you want to put your hand in this cookie jar, like
I think, and honestly, Nightmare on 2, she just made a really good comment about there's drive-in concerts, and someone with Red Bull with unlimited resources could have done.
That's what I'm saying.
Freaking battle. They could have done something pretty ill.
They could have done it in Korea.
Yeah, if you're quarantined for 2 weeks.
Because, like, if let's say they basically put it on ice for a year, and then when whatever 2021 comes around, are they going to take all those cats that made it to the finals, that put all that work in? Are they going to then give them an opportunity to?
I think they're not going to give them an opportunity. I think
they're just going to move on.
They're going to move on to the new season.
The young Inferno, though.
So that's what's kind of disappointing. They're not taking care of like all the ones that worked hard to like make the national championships or to win their respective national championships, and that's it. I mean,
they're gonna get gypped out of that non-existent prize money.
Yeah.
Every year the prize money changed. Like in Trentino, the year that he won $55,000 for the U.S. finals. I took just winning the qualifier, you got 5 racks. I took second place at Trentino in Chicago, and I got another 5 racks. He got
we got Immortal up in the building.
What up, Jamie?
What up, champ?
Yo, that's more than Cool Mix. Y'all remember Cool Mix back in the day? What's up, Immortal?
Yeah.
Rock
in the building.
man.
Shouts to the Scratch Academy, Miami.
Yeah, dude, in the super early Red Bull 3000, I got my ass kicked by Bonics in like 2011. And then I was also in it again in 2012 in Pittsburgh. And in the early ones, you legit got paid for just participating. Like I think the second year I got $500. You got $500 literally if you went to your local areas around it.
Well,
paid you for showing up.
The mentality was you're giving up a paid gig for that weekend to be there. But when Bonics and I was in it for 2015, they didn't give a shit. We didn't get nada. And that's when they spread the finals out to 3 days for the U.S., which is way overplayed first and foremost. That was
what that was the Denver year.
Nah, that was Phoenix.
For Phoenix.
Yeah.
The venues were way too big for that year.
All right, Immortal got 7,500.
Jamie with the flex.
And that's what was crazy about Cool Mix.
Second place though. That's the key. He said 7,500 per second.
They gave us mad money, and they were like, "Who do you want to book as your act?" I'm like, "I want to book Gangstar," because I promoted the Cool Mix show.
Oh, I remember that Cool Mix.
And I was like, "They're like, what? Who do you want us to bring?" And I'm like, "I want Gangstar," and they were like, "Done."
Wow.
Give me the Gangstar.
I thought it was gonna be a long-winded thing. He said, "Done." Oh wow.
No, they were just like, "Yeah, you want Gangstar? We got it. We'll get you Gangstar."
Wow.
And all the DJs. I mean. Immortal just saying. So I think first place might have been 10 grand or 12 grand or something.
You get a lifetime supply of cigarettes too, or no?
only the menthols. Only
right.
Those things are harsh though, bro. Come on,
Is Cool still around?
No. Those cigarettes were harsh, bro.
I was a Newport guy back in the day.
Yeah, they were stronger than Newport.
And they're pretty much Cool and Newport are the same.
Yeah, for sure.
That fiberglass shit. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I got to interrupt real quick, guys.
Look at fiberglass.
Shout out to DJ Sinless. He was asking. He wanted to know from like Buck and myself, and how we talk, how we go about like constructing the live remix sets. Yes, I want to shout him. He's always been a good support. Yeah, man. I mean, I know you got. I mean, Buck's got routines on routines on routines, man.
Peace, Sinless.
Yeah,
I need to make more.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, for me personally, it's actually I haven't been putting together anything like that you would actually practice lately. You know, like I've actually been trying to improv it more lately. You know,
I've been digging those sets though. Those have been dope. Just going with
Thanks.
the flow, kind of showing people your workflow behind it. I've been wanting to do like a Machine Monday for the longest time too, where I just kind of show people my workflow and how I cut stuff up and just, you know, the behind the scenes aspect instead of
you're all on Machine too, right? You're doing everything now. No more Ableton drum racks, right?
No, not anymore. I'm debating on
really?
going back, but ever since the MK3 came out, like some of the MIDI, like it's not the same because like with MK2 they had the Ableton script, so like it made it real easy to kind of cross over. So, but I've noticed it could just be something on my end too. But I have 3 different MK3s, so it's got to be a MIDI mapping issue or something because like the pads don't react like they used to. Like basically
in MIDI mode or in Machine.
Well, yeah, in MIDI mode for Ableton, like the pads like have their own little glitch, like they basically have like a roll or something of that nature to where like it's getting a conflict from something else. But I have only MIDI turned on in Ableton, so I don't have it, you know, enabled in anything else because you know you'll get MIDI conflict if you have it turned on in Serato and stuff like that.
You know, it's weird you say that because that's what I used to experience on like with the MK2, like no, I'm sorry, with the the first one, the very first one,
yeah.
2012 or whatever. And I'm like, why is it that when I hit this, there's like a double sound? Is that what you're talking about?
Yep. Like you hit it once, it's like, dude, it's like a touch release type deal. Almost.
I don't know how it went away.
I wonder if those guys are listening right now. You guys,
it doesn't matter.
Users in the States.
It's years ago, but like I've never had that problem with it. Like with MK3, I've never had that. Then again, I haven't been doing it as much as you. But but machine mode works fine.
Yeah, no, everything in Machine is 100%, and like I like the workflow. I still chop shit up in Ableton just because I know exactly what I want when I go to it, and I just export it as 16 pads, or I'll just take like a sample loop or like a synth loop and then just chop those up on the pad itself. But I basically cut all the fat out, so I'm not having big audio files in Machine.
Yeah.
But side note, for those who don't know, and I know Eric knows this, he is the reason why I use Machine. By the way.
Oh, thanks, man. I get to claim that.
Yeah. But what's awesome is I now get to teach him some stuff as well.
In your face, NPC.
No, it's all love. Like it's awesome to fucking have a mentor in a sense.
It's cool.
The master.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I told him. I was like, man, became the master.
Who's taking screenshots?
Who's taking screenshots?
You guys have the same haircut.
So you cut it
too.
up in Ableton?
Oh, wait, hold on, here we go.
There.
Can you tell us
see?
apart?
Oh, hey,
Let me grab the.
Wow.
No, it was actually funny because when we did a show in Indianapolis together, when we did a show in Indianapolis together, I was up there and someone thought I was.
Damn, look at that.
AB it.
Smooth. Yeah, shiny.
Buck, all you gotta do is shave your mustache.
Let me just get the Mexi stash going and we in here. Let me get that Juan Rodgers or Juan El Pinche Juan.
No, wait, hold up. You cut it up in drum racks.
Well, I used to in Ableton. So basically, I just slice the audio now and just import it into Machine. So I'll make individual folders for each routine and just put the 16 samples in that folder. So like if anything were to ever happen, I still have those master folders. Yeah, I still have that master folder of the work that I've chopped, and it's just drag and drop. Like, cause I literally like EQ it and everything in Ableton, so it's literally just a drag and drop scenario. I might tweak it a little bit in Machine just to kind of get the mix right.
It's like you get it basically close in terms of the length of the samples, and then you put it out in a folder.
Yeah, like I'll EQ my snares and all that shit, cut the low end out, so there's just less processing in Machine.
I haven't really tried using Machine. The Machine process for coming up with like routine. I tried learning. This is like back when I first got Machine. I tried learning this, just using that standalone as a beat, just to make beats, and like it felt like I was just fighting the Ableton workflow because I love the Ableton workflow.
Dude, and Ableton, you could fucking automate anything. You can literally just right click, automate, map, anything in Ableton.
I gotta be honest. Shouts to the homies at Serato, but I've been using Serato Studio for a year now. But I still find myself fighting the Ableton workflow, man.
Yeah, like she's got the Buck Jeremy emote.
Yeah, hey,
that's my alter ego, Buck Jeremy. It's got the mix.
Yeah, the Ableton workflow is just, I don't know. It's really hard to get into, but at the end of the day, once you figure it out, But then again, anything you start with for so long becomes your workflow.
100%.
So as you're saying, you
I use
prefer Ableton over Serato Studio. That's what you're saying.
Well, let's be clear here. They're two kind of different things. Ableton is a full-blown DAW, right?
Yeah,
so
right,
I
right,
recorded my mom's book. You know, my mom. I recorded the audio book version for my mom thing. You could perform with it. You could do other things. Serato Studio is like a beat making program.
Well,
you can't really sample audio yet.
What's cool about Serato though, it takes the DJ approach to producing.
Yes.
So like for those that are already familiar with the software, it allows them to
and the browser is amazing. I hate Ableton browser. I can use it, but the Serato browser, I've been using Serato every day since 2004. So when everything pops up in studio and you can drag and drop your mix ideas, it's really quick.
It's also kind of cool because it puts everything in key for you too, though. In a sense,
Yes.
you can drag and drop and
But the thing about Ableton, why that doesn't matter for guys like us, is because we can already hear in key. So if we can hear it, we change it. But Serato does everything. It just kind of mashes it to the master key. I wish Ableton would put out a master key, a global key. Lock.
I mean, that's what your tuner is for, in a sense. Well,
True.
I guess that'd be more for individual sounds.
But
though,
that's
not
individual, like a global.
But
Just a global
tonal balance, though. Tonal balance is a great tool to use. It shows
Tonal
you the
balance?
spectrum field. Yeah, it's isotope. Isotope.
Isotope.
Kind of gives you the spectrum field and the like. You can also what's it called? I forget the term for it, but basically analyze someone else's mix and it follows the wave curve. So when you're mastering yours, it'll help you kind of follow their EQ curve.
Don't get me wrong. I made some fire beats on Serato Studio, though. Of course, they're fire. But
artists saying with the global key, like he's saying that it'd be cool if something you hit a button and then whatever is in your Ableton project becomes that key.
Yeah, say you have 5 tracks. You have 5 tracks, one's an audio sample, one's a MIDI, clip, but you hit it and they all kind of
just kind of like a slave. Make it like a slave to the tone of what you want, in a sense.
Yeah,
gotta do a little work.
Yeah.
Guys, play the sax.
There you go. Real quick, guys. We're pretty much like way over our time. It's been
the principles here, guys.
It's been a crazy fun discussion here tonight. But Art and Chris, let's drop you off because we want to bring back Premonition and Sean and maybe Impulse. Maybe Impulse is around. I think he's gonna be our Matt Damon tonight. So Chris and Art, just drop off. We're gonna end off the show.
Peace, guys. Thanks for joining.
One love.
Just click on the leave studio. We'll get Premonition and Sean back in here. So if you guys are listening, because I can see somebody that's trying to enter the studio. All right, Sean, Premonition. Even if Impulse is in the building.
Bet.
Ew.
Salutations.
Premonition, where you at?
Nice.
In their lurk mode.
Is he lurking? Is he lurking?
Let me see. Yeah, he's still in the chat in lurk mode. I can send him a DM with the link if he needs it.
You said he's in lurk mode?
In lurk mode.
Lurking.
So Inferno, are you saying you do all of your machine stuff for your live remix performances? You do that all in Ableton? You're an Ableton guy?
His rack's pretty expensive.
Well, the thing is, like the when I was practicing a lot, like actual routines, which has not been recently. Like recently, I've been trying to do this. But it's all in drum racks. It's so I mean, it's relatively. It seems to me like way easier than the machine work. Like, when Buck told me he was doing his setup like in machine, I go, oh, like you mean you actually organize all your stuff in machine, and I could see why that would be cool because then you would have like hands-on control over the dials and stuff.
Well,
like
not
that.
only that, with the screens on the MK3 are freaking. It's
cool,
like high res now, so literally right here I can see all my routines and like with how I work on the fly. Just load your banks up as you go. But
that's got me thinking of trying.
Nah.
That's got me thinking of trying it now. Like because I do like the way that looks, but like. It's a lot. It seems a lot easier.
It's so much extra, workload. I mean, Buck's probably got all the hidden secrets and stuff. I
keep it pretty simple.
The way that you seem to approach it Inferno. Like that's if you're an Ableton nerd, like, and you've spent so many years kind of slowly but surely tripping away at the user interface, like, you know, you're just putting more work on the plate to try to take on another element. And but Machine hands down has the best pads of any drum machine on the market, without question.
Especially the MK3. The MK3, since they got the gel right, like the MK2s or the Akai pads will blister your fingers over a while. And the Machining MK3, because I always take everything apart.
Blister
so it went,
your fingers. Wow, man.
Yeah, no. Like, I used to literally get blisters on my fingers. Like, it's fucking. But yeah, they went from the carbon strips to silver plated, and now the MK3 is gold plated. So like the response and everything's way more on point.
Do you ever get double triggering on your MK3?
Yeah,
that's what he was talking about.
But that was
but that was not purposely, no. So like with the Akai, you can hit the corners to where it triggers stuff. Yeah, no, you can't really do that on the MK3 or on any of the machines that I'm aware of. But that's the issue that I was having in Ableton when I used the mini mode in Ableton on the MK3.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about the accidental double triggering, like
yes,
where that's a weird thing. Like,
you get the
talking about
press
that.
release.
Like,
you get the note repeat.
I haven't seen that yet.
Well, guys, we gotta end off the episode because we're running out of time on our audio podcast platform. Our allotted time is running down. We're gonna have to pay some more. But anyways, man, this has been a really good episode, you know. And that's gonna do it for us for the season, man. That's like we have 25 episodes in the books. You know, give it up one more time for our special guests, Inferno, Bonics, Buck Rodgers, Digital Dave, DJ Zoe, Premonition, Remedy, Throwdown, and Impulse. We'll
better answer your son.
Impulse. We ran out of time, so we're gonna get you on the next episode.
Sorry, fans.
No, but right now,
this is my life. This is my life.
I'm not ready.
But right now, guys, so let's get everybody to shout out what you got going on and just promote whatever, you know. So starting with Premonition, man, what you got going on? Just
well, every Sunday that we have a home game for the Washington football team, I'm in the stadium, game day DJ. Get back to corporate work, so I'll be doing different brands, Nordstrom, Macy's. Hopefully more stuff comes back, and just still streaming on Twitch Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Well, like 10 p.m. Eastern time. I do my Classic Club Saturdays. I also do a Thursday night stream right before the kickoff of the Thursday night game as well. That's kind of NFL themed. And then it'll just pop up sometimes, but that's it. So twitch.tv/DJ Premonition.
Dope. Remedy, what you got going on?
What up? Yeah, so I just put out a mixtape recently. It's basically like all scratching. The whole thing, we basically took the concept of putting the intro and stretching that for the whole tape. So it's me and my boy DJ Filthy, and it's called Stories from Scratch, and that's available at scratchstories.com and also at my website, djremedy.com. And then, you know, just be posting my practice footage and putting stuff on Instagram. That's pretty much it at DJ Remedy. That's pretty much where I'm at right now.
Sweet.
I bet.
Bonics, what do you got going on?
Hey, so I'll be on the radio every day in Minneapolis, which is fun, and I do a mix show there. I'm just joined Twitch, like I said, so you know, stream in, check me out, and you know, welcome me there for the people who've been doing it. But what else is going on? You know,
you're about to get your license.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to get my so I can marry Buck and his wife. I'm trying to get that whatever that's called. Nice universal life type.
Damn.
Yeah. And so really that's it. I did something with Wiz 2 weeks ago, so that was promising, and they're talking about a tour next summer. So
nice.
hopefully that shit will come back. But I'm just enjoying myself. So come to Minneapolis if you guys are traveling.
Hells yeah, man.
We're out there. Don't even worry.
Not during the winter, though.
Anytime.
It is already winter now.
They said there's no bad weather, just bad dressing.
Zoe, what about you?
Yeah, I'm just holding it down over here in Korea. I'm actually leaving on Friday. I'm going to Vietnam through December. I'll be DJing out there. And if you want to see me quarantine again, because I have to fucking quarantine again in Vietnam, you can follow me on Instagram. I'll probably show you my shitty meals and all that.
What about you, Inferno?
Yeah, man. I'm actually getting back. I've decided that the nerding is going to stop, and it's going to continue. But I finally got everything the way I want it. I'm going to start streaming again, and
Rubik's Cube tutorials.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do all this shit while I'm with my set. But yeah, I'm trying to do this thing, man. Like I'm trying to do this thing. I'd like to do some of the types of sets that I've been doing earlier this year, which is sort of like, it's completely on the spot. It's like, all right, like you tell me like what you want me to live remix or whatever, and then I'll create something on the spot and then actually perform it. Takes like, it's like there's a setup and then a performance behind it. So I thought that was kind of that. I always had fun with that. I want to continue that, but then I also really enjoy this thing where, like, I can switch over to this camera here. Like, I don't know I'm not going to worry about it, but for now. But like, I got my camera set up where like it switches to like the things that I touch, and now I can like, I can mix. I can hit this stuff over here if I feel like it. I can like live loop the thing that it's playing over there, or I can like make a beat, and then I could add a chord progression, and then you know what I'm saying? Like I can do literally everything now, just like turning around like this. Now I'm like, so I'm gonna start streaming again. It's twitch.tv / DJ ENFERNO. And on the other side of the business is Mixed Major. So if you guys didn't know, I actually have a school. I've had this school for the last, like the physical school since 2018, but I've been teaching primarily kids, teens, and now some adults how to make music with Ableton. You know what I mean? So I've been doing that since 2015. And what's cool is on the Mixed Major side, like now I have students from like California, Arizona, Texas. You know what I mean? Like I have students from all over the country now because there's no longer the need to drive on a weekly basis to my place in Herndon. So that virtual program's been growing really well. So that's www.mix-major.com. That's
awesome, man. What about you, two-time U.S. champ, Throdown?
Well, speaking of that, I got the 2018 DMC US Supremacy Champ banging away in my living room on the keyboard right now. Toltecs.
Nice.
And so we are in the IDA World Championships in December. So we're doing our first teams routine. And I was working on the track when you so rudely kicked me off for about an hour halfway through the show. And this set is fire. So I think we got like 2 weeks left before we got to turn it in. So I guess keep your eyes peeled for that. Hopefully, finally, we can bring a world title back to the United States.
Hey.
But that's it. That and one day when I grow up, I want to be just like Inferno and Buck Rodgers, because I'm all about this live thing. Honestly, I think after like quarantine, we're all on the road, just like killing ourselves, traveling and just playing show after show after show. And this quarantine has been such an amazing break from the norm. And I was like, what? I don't even think I want to do that anymore, period. Like, I just want to do live performances. Like, I'm basically going to be like a one-man band with a drum machine and a keyboard and a whole bunch of effects controls and 2 turntables and a mixer and a microphone, and just do everything on the fly. And probably only play like with bands, and you know what I'm saying, like all the kinds of acts that Chris Carnes plays with, Pretty Lights and Grammatic, Sun Squad. Like he fits in perfectly because he's not a DJ playing in between sets. He is part of the band. The scratching like over the hooks and throwing in like melodies and like acapellas and stuff. Like I kind of feel like Inferno touched on it for a second, talking about like was Serato the impetus for battle DJing sort of kind of falling behind? And honestly, I think it's everything. It's the industry, it's social media, it's technology, but we're at a point now where there's so many fun toys that you can kind of bring into the DJ booth, and I'm starting to see dudes like pop up here and there that are just like one person acts, whether you're a beatboxer or a finger drummer or a DJ or a keyboardist or a sax player or whatever. And I think that's the future. It might not happen tomorrow, but it's coming, and I want to be like right on the front wave of that. So I study all your videos. I see each and every one of them, but I like flip the phone upside down and just rewind it like 40 times. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna wax this motherfucker.
Come on with it.
Keep banging those
Come
fingers.
on with it. Don't let him sleep on you. Hey, Ross be fucking finger banging, yo. He's got some tricks up his sleeve. He's all modest and quiet, but I see his shit too. So don't let him fool you.
But yeah.
Dope. All right, Dave, Digital Dave.
What up? What up? Thank you guys for having me on again. Real quick, Inferno. I don't know if we ever got to like meet or talk in person. I don't think we have, but I've been a huge fan of yours for like years and years and years and years. So I just wanted to say that, and I appreciate you and all the work you've done over the years. And I also want to say, it's great kicking it with Buck and Bonics, as they're my two favorite DJs that I've ever gotten to play back-to-back sets with. Buck and I's set was super weird. It was like slow jams, like completely impromptu at the end of the night in Arizona. We were playing like back-to-back, like Silk and Shy and Escape shit like that. But
crumbly, super crumbly.
I love you guys. So it's been an honor to be here. Check out mixcloud.com/DJ Digital Dave for my new Jack mix and all kind of mixes I'm working on. My Instagram's at DJ Digital Dave 1. And, I'll be keeping this 8-0 train rolling here. Hopefully, a few more weeks, hopefully the rest of the season, in Heinz Field for all the Steeler games. I'll be seeing your football team on December 6th. And thank you guys again for having me so much.
Definitely. And finally, Buck Rodgers.
Oh, man. So biggest thing I'm working on right now is just building residual income. Launching my label. Finally going to stop talking and fucking get off my ass and launch my label. I got my second alias, Exus, that I'm doing a lot more house music and stuff with. I just did some stuff with the Desert Heart crew. Like we had Porky from Desert Hearts and a few others out. Still working on my side project with Z-Trip with our little Form Like Voltron crew, which is what we're doing. So usually the sizzle reel that we did, it was me, Supernat, Adam Deitch from Lettuce, and then of course Z-Trip. So it's kind of, we have the drummer, the MC, the DJ, and then me kind of adding other elements in between. So we're really, I'm probably going to be going out to San Diego soon and working some more on our first official EP. So we kind of like develop our sound so we have something that we can actually launch. And then other than that, just streaming my ass off at DJ Buck Rodgers. If you see one without the S, like a DJ Buck Roger, that's not me.
Oh wow,
yeah, no, like everyone that saw him, like he was in a couple streams, like saying shit, and they were all like, "Oh, Buck, blah 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 blah." And he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Who is like?" So if you see a dude without an S, it's not me. But once you know bucking with me, you won't forget the D, and that's RODGERS. So everything at DJ Buck Rodgers, and that's pretty much about it.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's it for the show. Man, that was a great show. By the way, folks, for everybody tuning into our show on Twitch right now, please stay in the chat, all right? Because we're gonna pay for it by supporting another DJ and raiding their channel once our show goes off the air, and we're actually gonna raid DJ Audio One because it's his birthday today. So we're gonna raid Audio One today. So just stay put, stay in the chat. Just stay on the chat. But if you know, I gotta end the show. So if you missed any of our episodes, you can watch our past shows on Facebook.com/BeatRefinery or YouTube.com/BeatRefinery. If you prefer to listen to the audio side of things, this episode, 3 hours of it, will be uploaded this Thursday to Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you consume and listen to all things podcasts. So make sure to click like, comment, and subscribe to all of our different platforms, whichever you prefer. From all of us here, thanks again to everybody for tuning in the past couple seasons. Don't worry, the show will be back in a few weeks. We're just taking a little break. We might be back live here, just to try out something new. But for the 9 at 9 show, we'll be back in a few weeks. So once again, Sean J, do you have any last words?
Yeah, I spent a whole afternoon today putting together all the links from all the references we've had in every single episode in our Discord channel, so you can check that link that's been happening in the chat. So if you're in here live watching it, you can get that there. If not, get in touch with one of us. We can send you the Discord link. That way we can keep everybody in touch and kind of keep the conversation and the dope resources going throughout. I bought a house. I got to go pack stuff. I'm getting out of here.
Mic drop, boom.
Boom. So once again, folks, everybody stay in the chat. We're gonna raid Audio One. Make sure once we get into his stream, everybody greet him up. Happy birthday. Put up the raid emotes, whatever you want to do, or any of his emotes. But make sure to greet him happy birthday. So once again, folks, keep wearing a mask. Spread some love. We'll see you guys whenever. So everybody say peace. And we don't have our music, man.
Peace.
Peace. Wait, all these days no music.
Go, Buck, go.
There we go.
There it is.
Peace out, guys.
Thank you, guys.
There we are. So we are still on the air right now.
No, we're off.
No, we're off. We're
on
actually
Audio One's channel. We're just
still
still on Streamlabs.
Oh, that's right.
StreamYards.
That's right. Okay.
But we already rated into Audio One.
Bow, there it is. 200. God, look at that number. 235.
He's been streaming his ass off though.
Yeah, man.
He's literally on like every day. Between him and like Flipside and Umami and Bella Fiasco. But yeah.
Man,
Speaking
how
of
many
which,
times-
I'm probably gonna hop on and stream myself. So
That's what I was gonna say. How many times a week you streaming, Buck?
well, before I got partner, I was literally fucking all day, every day. Like I'd stream probably 5-6 hours a day, just to hit the mark for partner. But now I'm the only dedicated stream that I have is just Wednesdays for the Wednesday web down. So I do like all base for your face type deal, just wubs, anything